It'll briefly become mostly cloudy this evening. Then we'll have some clearing skies, the low down to 57. Beautiful day for Tuesday, sunny and nice, the high of 77. There'll be a nice breeze out of the northwest. Clear skies, quite cool for Tuesday night, the low all the way down to 47. Partly sunny, gorgeous day to be outdoors on Wednesday with a light breeze out of the east-southeast, the high of 79. Mostly sunny on Thursday, the high of 82. A little warmer Friday, sunny to partly cloudy skies, the high of 84. Remaining gorgeous right through the weekend. Saturday, mostly sunny, very warm, the high of 86. And abundant sunshine Sunday as well, the high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
74, partly sunny skies right now in Hartford. It's been an up day on Wall Street so far. Dow's ahead 428 points, the NASDAQ up 101, and the S&P up 46 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
With Aer Lingus and Bradley International Airport, your vacation possibilities just got more exciting. Fly non-stop from Hartford to Dublin with great fares available now. And since Dublin is our European hub, make your trip 20 times more fun with connections to over 20 cities across Europe, including London, Paris, and Rome. From epic coastlines to city tram lines, you can explore it all. Visit airlingus.com to book your flights today.
Life can be unpredictable at times, but you shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of someone else's negligence. If you've been in an accident or work-related injury and it's not your fault, you need a lawyer who knows how to get you the fair and just compensation you deserve. At Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott, our team of personal injury lawyers have over 100 years of combined experience. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit us at bpslawyers.com. Bruce Newman is responsible for the content of this ad.
I'm Jennifer Osborne, General Manager at Saxon Engineering.
As an assembler, distributor, and welder of hoses, fittings, and pneumatic and lubrication components for industry, Faxon depends on their computer network. Jennifer explains why Tab Computer Systems was tasked with maintaining that network.
We were looking for a company that could better support us before we had an emergency.
And if an emergency...
like 40 seconds-ish.
Put our IT hat on, but I have no IT experience, so we really needed somebody else to take on the role for us.
Tab is there when Jennifer needs them.
When we have an emergency and I'm picking up that phone, we're getting a call back super quick.
Summing up her experience with Tab,
their attention to customer and the customer needs has been wonderful for us.
Making a change like Jennifer? Call Tab today. 1-888-TAB-4-HELP. 1-888-TAB, the numeral 4, H-E-L-P. Or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
A lot of people questioning me today, actually. It's the only reason I played that.
Really?
Yeah, like 5 or 6 callers throughout the morning.
Huh.
That was Justin.
We'll keep that off the air.
You know, I think every struggling to find that boundary. The U.S. is a tough one because, you know, we have the notion of the First Amendment. And so what are the exceptions, you know, like yelling fire in a theater, you know, and because you're anonymous online, you know, it can be worse. I do think over time, you know, with things like deep fakes, most of the time you're online, you're going to want to be in an environment where the people are truly identified. That is, they're connected to a real world identity that you trust instead of just people saying whatever they want.
Yeah. We can't have people saying what they want. Now can we, Bill Gates? Oh, man, it's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC, filling in for my homie G, Money Slice Script, Todd Feinberg. It is September. Gosh, is it the 9th already? No way. 2024. Welcome to the program. I did not want to start on this, but I'm being forced to because, you know, it's not like we're not going to be covering, you know, or talking about the debate tomorrow. Everyone is getting ready for it, so you're going to hear a lot of commentary about that, of course, right here on WTIC. All right, I'll do a little bit of it. I promise I will not inundate you with my opinions about the debate. I've given them to you last week, but if you missed them, I'll give you a little bit of it. But I had to talk about this because it was everywhere. In all my news feeds, I'm getting all of this info about people talking about misinfo. Misinformation. And I started thinking about it today. What's the problem? What is the problem with misinformation? I don't remember a time ever in our lives where people had a problem with it. I don't know about you, but I just never had it. Listen to me, I laughed at people who said some of the most shocking and insane things in my entire life. Let me go back to this. I'm gonna go back to something that you guys will remember here in Connecticut back in the late 70s, the early 80s. We would go to the grocery store and we would pick up that silly newspaper that was sitting there. What was it called? News of the World? Joey, what was the name of that newspaper? The little black and white thing they used to have. It was like a tabloid that used to say, and I gave birth to an alien's baby. What was that?
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
Oh, remember those? They were everywhere. Everywhere on the newsstand when you were at the grocery store, they were there. And it wasn't the National Enquirer. It was some other weird, it was always in black and white. But I remember them. I remember them vividly at the supermarket. I just can't remember the names. But if you're in the chat room at ReeseOnTheRadio.com, let me know if you remember the names of them. Somebody said the Rational Enquirer. No, not the National Enquirer. No, it was a whole, I can't remember. It was like News of the World, it was News of the something. But there would be, what was it? I was abducted by aliens was another thing that was always on the cover. Right? It was about $1. You could buy it. Maybe some of them were 50 cents. The Sun was another name of it. Simon is saying it's the Sun. I think it is the Sun. That was one of them. But they all had them on there. And one of my favorite ones on there, no matter what day of the week it was sightings of Elvis. I saw Elvis in Argentina. I saw Elvis in Cuba. I'll even go more recent. Forget about the Elvis sightings, which, by the way, they had television programming about people who would show up at a certain place because there was rumors. Before social media, folks. Late 70s, people showing up at places saying that Elvis was going to arrive on a UFO. The people know I'm telling the truth here. You saw it on television, and we laughed, and we called those people quacks. But let's go into more recent history. Don't you know somebody in Hartford that told you that Tupac's alive living in Cuba, hanging out with Angela Davis and Biggie Smalls? Come on. You know it happened. You know it did. We all believed it. That's right. Like JFK was going to show up in Dallas. We remember that. Misinformation was a fabric of our lives. Just recently, Barack Obama called Sacramento, not Sacramento Kings. I'm thinking of the other one. I'm wrong. Steph Curry, basketball player, the Warriors, the Golden State Warriors. Barack Obama was in a conversation with Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors, mocking him about talking about flat Earth online. The Globe was another one, Zeke. The Globe was definitely another one. But they were talking, he was saying, I can't believe that you're out here talking about the earth is flat. Boy, what's wrong with you? Remember that? That was within the last 5-6 years. Everyone dabbles in a little bit of misinformation. It's a fabric of our lives. It's conspiracy theory. Some of it is like folklore. It's just who we are. But now all of a sudden, it's criminalized. Now we have a society that says that we need to put people behind bars for misinformation because it's on social media and because it's on other platforms other than the major news networks. Right? It's not on ABC, NBC, CBS. It's not on Fox News, CNN, or MSNBC. And if anyone is outside of that scope and they're spreading what all the rest are calling misinformation, we have to criminalize it. Let me tell you what's really happening here. And I'll take your phone calls, and I want to thank everybody for calling in so early and jumping in on this, because I don't blame you. It gets me excited too, in the bad way. But here's the problem. I'll take one particular example out of recent headlines. Mr. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has millions of followers. Millions of them. And he is incredibly influential. Even if all of his followers don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth, even if it was a majority of people who listened to him did not believe a word he said, it still scares the dickens out of mainstream media and the intelligentsia in this country. You want to know why? Because those people don't have the amount of people who listen to him that Joe Rogan is. Joe Rogan is just some guy. He's some big galoot. He's a comedian who's an MMA fighter who was on Fear Factor. To them, he's a nobody. He's not intelligent. He's not smart. He's not elite. He's some schlub with a podcast. But there are so many people who listen to him. There's the threat. So instead of competing with him for that audience, which they can do, the only reason why they can't is because they have to say some uncomfortable truths in order to do it. They have to ask some unfortunate questions in order to get people to listen to them. You have to ask yourself in the beginning, why don't they? Why don't they ask the questions or have the guests that Joe Rogan has on his show? Why don't they do it? And suffer the meager ratings that they have. Because if they were smart, if you thought that him having that much influence was a threat, you'd compete for them. But no, they must admonish him. They must ridicule him. They must destroy him in order to do it, in order to compete with him. Get rid of him. The ivermectin argument was the biggest exposure to mainstream media ever. It showed that instead of being thoughtful, instead of investigating what Joe Rogan was talking about, they just attacked him. Some of the people who attacked him are currently taking ivermectin today, and God bless them. Unfortunately, they've been fired from the jobs where they were the most influential. So now that they're regular schlubs, they can now use ivermectin freely. But again, instead of competing for his audience, they lied. They engaged in the very misinformation they want everyone else criminalized for. That's the problem. I love that Joe Rogan has 1 billion more listeners than I do. I celebrate that. That means that he's at least having a conversation. It's what we try to do here at Reese on the Radio. Just try to have the conversation. And I know sometimes they can be uncomfortable. Some of the people who call here really, really scare me sometimes with the stuff that they talk about. But I understand. I'm trying to at least have a conversation with people. I don't believe in shutting down thought or debate. These people do. And when a guy as powerful as Bill Gates has a problem with people being able to say what they want, you should be very, very nervous about that. He is actively working with people to shut you down. And he has the power to do it. And he doesn't have a podcast either. But he'll go after Joe Rogan. He will find a way to do it, as will others. We're going to have a conversation in a little while with Rob McGreevy talking about that exact thing. Rob McGreevy is with the Daily Caller News Foundation. I almost got that right. The Daily Caller News Foundation. He'll be here at about 4:11 to talk about this exact thing happening today. Censorship you wouldn't believe. And the story It gets deeper than just the censorship in Brazil. We'll talk about that. But in the meantime, let's get to your phone calls. 860-522-WTIC. Patrick is in Middletown. Hello, Patrick. You're on with Reese on the radio.
Hi, Reese.
How are you, Patrick?
Today?
Pretty good, sir.
I'm not doing well. Just give me a couple of minutes to get this out because it's going to help my fellow disabled veterans.
Okay.
I'm permanent and total disabled veteran unemployable.
Wow.
All throughout Obama-Biden, I lived out of my vehicle like an animal.
Wow.
When Trump became president, I got a job through the work therapy program at the VA in Newington, Connecticut, which subsequently led to gainful employment, full-time, regular federal employee in West Haven as a professional painter. So I went from homeless to off the street, and then I bought a house. I was on the job only 9 months, and I became a homeowner.
Wow.
Okay. My mortgage rate was 2.75%. I had a 2-bedroom cape, half an acre of land, 2 decks, a 2-car garage.
No way. Really? All of that in 9 months?
Yep. And my mortgage was $1,224 a month.
God
And
bless
I've been
you.
calling around apartment complexes here in Connecticut, like, I mean, unless you want to live in the hood, and, you know, if you want to live in Weathersfield or Glastonbury or Rocky Hill, you're looking at $2,000 just for a studio.
I hear you.
So the dichotomy here is, I go to the VA and they say, right now I'm paying $150 a week, no lie, on my parents' graves, living out of a barn. No
Wow.
running water, no toilet, no bathroom. With a service animal, by the way.
So
The
you
VA
lost
tells
all of
me
that
I
in the
make-
last 3 years.
The VA tells me, I'll give you a little more background in a minute. The VA tells me I make too much money to get housing assistance. And all the apartment complexes I reach out to say, you don't make enough money because you got to bring home 2.5 times to 3 times the rent to qualify to live there. Okay?
Yeah.
So here's the point, and you can fact check this. They built a place in Maine, a big brand new facility. I can't tell you how many apartment units are in it. Strictly for illegal immigrants, and they get to live there for 2 years rent free. And I know if you don't know about that, you can look it up. The Aurora, Colorado situation, where I don't know who these people are that own the apartment complexes that have been overrun by the Venezuelan gangs.
Yeah.
But they wanted to put Venezuelan gang members into these apartment complexes, and the owners of these properties said no.
Yeah,
we
they're
don't want them.
Yeah, they're already in Connecticut. They are already in Connecticut. You're 100% right about that.
A lot of people that don't read the New York Post cover to cover every day and don't watch Fox News Channel around the clock don't know this. Somebody, and I can't tell you who, paid those Venezuelan gang members security deposit, and they get the first 3 months free with a roof over their heads.
Wow.
I'm a permanent and total disabled veteran, unemployable, and I can't get that kind of benefit out of the VA. Nor do I get a free iPhone, nor do I get a $5,000 debit card.
Wow.
And then they throw a couple grand on it every month after that and reload it.
We're
getting screwed as veterans.
Patrick, trust me,
okay?
I
And
have
the illegals are getting everything.
Patrick, trust me, we're going to be addressing that later on today, but you're 100% right. And I appreciate
Everything I've told you
is 100% true. I know it's a fact. Oh, I know it's a fact. I have the story here about Connecticut.
The thing is, here's the sad thing. I'm 60 years old now, okay? And I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life. And when the VA tells me, well, we could get you a room in the hood where you got to share a bathroom with 10 other freaking convicted felon drug users, which I'm not, any one of those things,
Mm-hmm.
that's not doing me any favors.
I know.
I
It's a
wanna have
shame.
female companionship. I want to have a life.
It's
And
a
for
shame.
the sacrifice I made to this country, I deserve that. And the illegals are getting everything. And my fellow disabled veterans out there that are listening to me right now are not getting squat.
Yeah.
And it's high time somebody did something about it. And I want to be the catalyst to make change. and vote for Donald Trump. Don't vote for that idiot Kamala Harris. Okay? We'll make that change.
You're preaching to the choir here, Patrick. Thank you so much. I appreciate where you're coming from. Much, much appreciated, and good luck to you. And look, maybe by November. Hey, if he could do that in 9 months, ladies and gentlemen, what the hell? What could he do in right after November? I'd be impressed. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate the call. Let's go to George in St. Louis real quick. Hey, George, you're on Reese on the Radio.
Hi, Reese. I want to talk about tomorrow night's debate.
Okay.
Here's what Kamala stands for: price controls.
Yeah.
The end of the free market.
Clearly.
So you're going to have the inflation police watching everything. She's for the state-controlled media, which is the end of free speech.
Indeed.
She's going to collect all the guns, weaponize the courts and the police. So you got to. She's initiating a big bloated government where no one can make a move without consulting the big bloated government.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna kill all fracking, which ends your energy security.
I'll tell you the part that I find interesting, George. Let me stop you, because I'll tell you one thing that I find interesting. You know, people aren't digging deep into this idea that she wants to give $25,000 to first-time homeowners. What they're not digging into that story is that what we know about Kamala Harris and what we definitely know about the immigration problem in this country is whom she's going to be giving that first-time home to. It will not be to a selective few. It will be to a selection with a complexion or protection or complexion for the protection, if you were. She is going to give those handouts, those government handouts, based upon race, gender, and sexual orientation, without a doubt.
Yeah, but let me boil this down. Kamala is a communist.
Indeed.
That's what Trump says she is. That's what I believe she is. And after all this gets out tomorrow night, the Democrat Party is going to realize that they sold something to the American public. They're never going to vote for a communist for president of the United States.
I think we're going to be beyond. I think we're going to be beyond that, George. Thank you for the call. What I do believe, George, is that beyond this, I don't believe that Democrats, I think they're going to have to suffer for at least another, maybe 2 election cycles before they ever see the Oval Office again, because nobody's going to go for this far left attitude anymore. That's why even Gavin Newsom's trying to moderate. Let's take a break. We got to take a break now. We'll come back. More news, more views, and we'll talk a little bit more about this censorship nonsense going on before we get to our phone call with Rob McGreevy of the Daily Caller News Foundation. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
A happy place comes.
You're clear.
Thank you, sir.
One that leaves you feeling.
Is he calling or am I calling him?
No, he's calling.
Okay.
Up, or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.
Ironically, Joe Biden
Weather can be unpredictable
is giving
nowadays,
a speech
but your local
to
news
celebrate
station on the free
Americans
Odyssey
with
app has got you
Disabilities
covered.
Act.
Wow. Or an extra layer or 2. We'll let you know. Download the.
He probably thinks it's for him though.
For your local news station to listen on your smartphone.
It's my birthday.
Or ask your smart speaker to play it before you head out the door. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station. That's AUDACY.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 customers would recommend AAA insurance to a friend? 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 people don't even like Philly cheesesteaks. More loved than the most loved sandwich in the city of brotherly love? Does that make us siblings? Well, we do treat our customers like family. Legendary service and superior coverage from AAA Insurance. Something 9 out of 10 people would recommend. Find out why at AAA.com/insurance and get a quote. Based on a 2023 customer survey. Insurance provided by CSAA Insurance.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Bash, a spine surgeon.
Would Roseanne like her surprise?
Center for Spine Surgery. By the time most patients come to us, they've typically suffered for years from back pain, difficulty walking, or numbness. And while we're experts in minimally invasive, robotic-assisted spine surgeries, we always try to exhaust all non-surgical options first. We'll help you find the treatment that's right for you, so you can get back to doing what you love faster. To learn more about why we're leaders in outpatient spine surgery, visit middlesexhealth.org/spine.
And now, a WTIC news update.
73 degrees, partly cloudy skies for the moment in Hartford. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. 4 people from Connecticut were killed when their plane went down in Vermont over the weekend. The 4 were returning to Connecticut after having brunch on Sunday. No reports were received indicating an aircraft in distress or that one had crashed. 2 of the victims were from Middletown. The schools there are closed tomorrow. The other 2 were from Lebanon and Colombia. NTSB will have an investigator on site beginning tomorrow to try and figure out what caused that crash. In Suffield, a high school student was killed over the weekend when the dirt bike he was riding collided with a car. Head-on crash occurred at Copper Hill and Woods Hollow Roads around 5:30 Sunday afternoon. The victim was a freshman at Suffield High School. The investigation is ongoing. Extra police presence at Edison Middle School today after police say a threat was made on Snapchat. Post indicated threats against Edison students. The suspect is charged with threatening. A Wallingford man is dead after state police say they tried to stop him from driving erratically in town on South Turnpike Road near Mansion Road just before 4 yesterday. The Cadillac Escalade 42-year-old Jonathan Garcia was operating, hit a Chevy Silverado in the opposite direction. 2 people in that vehicle were seriously injured. Hurricane Center says Tropical Storm Francine has formed off the coast of Mexico. It is expected to drench the Texas coast before coming on shore in Louisiana Wednesday night, possibly as a hurricane. And Princess Kate says she has completed chemotherapy and will return to some public duties in the coming months. The 42-year-old wife of Prince William expected to undertake a light program of engagements until the end of the year. WTIC News Time 3:32. Jason Caterina has the forecast.
A beautiful start to the new week this afternoon with sunny to partly cloudy skies, the high of 76. Tonight, it'll briefly become mostly cloudy this evening. Then we'll have some clearing, the low down to 57. Another beautiful late summer day for Tuesday, sunny and nice, the high of 77. A nice breeze out of the northwest. Wednesday, it'll be a touch warmer, partly sunny. Another gorgeous day to be outside with the high of 79. And mostly sunny Thursday, the high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
From the WTIC 24-hour traffic network in Meriden, Route 15 northbound, we're looking at backups between exits 66 and 68. Site of a 2-vehicle crash there that's off in the right lane. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Baby, it's hot outside, but baby, it's going to be cold outside real soon. Say, come on into Campbell. When the weather's hot, you should be thinking cold. Before you start up that heat pump, boiler, or furnace, contact Campbell to get on their service short list. If old reliable's too old and not reliable, talk to Campbell about a Campbell custom upgrade to your system. Connect with Campbell today at campbellcooling.com. That's campbellcooling.com.
Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard and Mitsubishi heating and cooling equipment. Let our expert technicians heat your home this fall.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121.
Hey, it's Tom Shattuck. Mike, who lost 40 pounds with Awaken 180, was in the same position I was in. You're most likely in. Confused.
I spent so much money on personal trainers in the last 10 years. Didn't have a lot of discretionary income left. So I tried to listen to everybody else. What do you eat? You know, everyone said, eat healthy. Define eating healthy. Cut out sugar. Tell me what foods don't have sugar. So their process to me was an education. That was really the eye-opening thing to me is I had 10 choices of food in front of me every day. You know, when I was on the run in sales, I was making 8 bad choices. I wasn't eating the 2 good ones. And I loved the 2 good ones. I just didn't know they were good. So I made bad choices every single day. In the program, Gonna Awaken 180, really changed my mind, opened my eyes up to, it was a true education on food, what to eat, what not to eat. And it's been fantastic.
Knowing what to eat. The ability to navigate nutrition labels, a proven, clear path for weight loss, and exactly what you will receive with Awaken 180. Leave confusion at the door and do what we did. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moment
to Flight 101
to annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business and take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's also what a lot of us lack in our basement or garage. By switching to a Navien tankless water heater, not only will you have all the hot water you need whenever you need it, but you'll gain storage area as well. Maybe a place to display your space collectibles. Highly logical. Learn about Navien's series of high-efficiency...
There we go, sir.
...heaters.
Got it.
And how they don't just save space, but save dollars on your utility bills, too. For more, go to tanklessmadesimple.com.
WTIC News Talk 1080. The more you listen, the more you know.
We are back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Again, like I said, I didn't want to talk about misinformation, but again, it's everywhere today. Everyone's talking about it. And there's so many articles to point to. And the people who are screaming and hollering about, we need to stop misinformation, are playing a huge role in it. Twice in less than a week's time, the Associated Press is involved with misinformation. They misquoted J.D. Vance last week, and today there's an article in the Hartford Courant, written by the Associated Press, saying that Donald Trump is going to jail his adversaries. I kid you not. Don't believe me, go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. ReeseOnTheRadio.com. It is a part of the stupidest thing I've read today. Just go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, scroll down, the stupidest thing I read today. The article is there. From the Hartford Courant, in the Hartford Courant. I couldn't believe it was there. And then I read the article, and we'll break it down in roughly about the 4 o'clock hour. But as I said before, I kind of got my thunder stolen from me because Patrick in Middletown had a serious thing to opine about, and I'm glad that he did call. By the way, Patrick, if you're listening, right now, as we speak, President Joe Biden is delivering his remarks to celebrate the Americans with Disabilities Act. If you can talk about coincidence, if you want to go watch that speech and puke, you can. We'll get into the phone calls in a minute, but I've got so much audio about this, but I want to get what they're saying Donald Trump said in this Truth post is alarming that they framed it the way that they did. So I will break all of that down to you, and then I will play a piece of audio that is mind-boggling that I saw today out of Florida, which goes right into the Associated Press article. which is nothing more than a bunch of misinformation. You know what? Screw that. Lies. Lies. Because I don't have a problem with misinformation. People have been doing it all the time. Rumors, innuendo. You can't control what people say. But boy, do they want to. Boy, do they want to, huh? 860-522-WTIC. Let's go to Tom in Thomaston. Hello, Tom. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, hello. Hey, Bill Gates doesn't give a darn about misinformation. He just cares about information he doesn't agree with and
That's
want
right.
on the air.
That's right.
That's all he cares about. And hey, this cuts right into it. I believe the BS about the bees all dying and we got to do something about the bees.
Right.
The beehive collapse was in 2008 or something.
Right.
That happened, and it was bad, but the other parts of the world were fine. Bees now are almost more plentiful than they've ever been.
Right.
If you Google them, the first thing you get, I saw a John Stossel episode the other day, so that's why I got into this. If you Google it, the first thing is, bees are almost extinct.
Mhm.
But then if you look down like 10, 12 sections, there's a scientist saying there's a huge population of bees.
This was you know what? This is similar.
Media says
This is similar to that story about the polar bears dying, and then the actual data suggesting that they were like 3 to 4 times higher than this article was suggesting. Another thing was we were losing too much forestry, and then of course the true report shows that we have more forests. In fact, we're growing more trees than ever before.
Yeah, I'm never going to believe anything I hear from the media.
Can I do one more, Tom? Tom, I got to do one more for you. You'll love this one because it goes right into what you're talking about in science and global warming and all that other stuff. Try this on for size. Who's one of the biggest? I'll ask you this. Who's one of the biggest media personalities that children love who's screaming about carbon footprints? Can you name the guy? He's got a catchy name that the kids used to watch on television.
That goofy scientist, or he's not even a real scientist.
That's right.
They call him a scientist.
You mean Bill Nye, the
Forget what
science
his
guy?
name is.
Bill Nye, the science guy?
Bill Nye the
Yeah,
science guy.
yeah, of course you do. You got to remember him. Now, that guy is running around talking about our carbon footprint. But did you know that Bill Nye, the scientist, really, he's an engineer, he said this not too long ago.
This is a model of a carbon atom. And you say, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? It's carbon, okay? Carbon is everywhere. Carbon is in every living thing. The trees, carbon's in the trees, carbon's in the grass, carbon is in you and me. Carbon's in the cows, carbon's in that bull over there. Carbon is in the horses. Carbon is all over the place. Carbon's even in the air. Carbon is what makes life go.
What? Carbon is what makes life go. Bill Nye, the science guy, guy who says we need to reduce our carbon footprint, was on his own television show celebrating carbon.
Yeah, without carbon, there's no oxygen. There's nothing to turn the chemicals into oxygen.
You got to see the video too, because he's talking about carbon, and at one part when he's going carbon, he's going, he's breathing because he's started producing his own carbon. Everything about this is, listen, somebody called it the Stranger Things thing, the upside down. That's exactly what this is. Everyone is, it's not like they forgot that they were caught on tape. Like all of this is on tape. What they used to believe and what they believe now. So
yeah, they're blowing up dams out west for the salmon, and almost all the dams now have runs to protect the salmon. The salmon numbers are as good as ever, and the only reason they're down a little bit is because we don't kill seals anymore because they're protected, and we're overrun with seals, and their favorite meal, one of their favorite meals is salmon, and they're munching the salmon by millions.
Exactly. Well,
everything's backwards.
Yeah, it is all backwards. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Ralph in South Carolina. How we doing, sir?
Just living the dream down here, Reese. Better than Connecticut. I just happened to catch your governor on TV lying as usual. The reason I call, Reese, first thing, just happened to mention you were talking about the bees. Well, a good friend of mine's a farmer down here, and he's got a whole bunch of fields.
Okay.
And guess what? Guess what he has in each field?
Let me guess. Bees? Like beehives?
Beehives, 3 or 4 beehives, and I've gone by them many times, and they are packed with bees.
It's incredible.
They are packed with bees. But the main reason I called, and we talked about this before, with Carmela lying. I mean, I'm surprised that she knows what day of the week. She doesn't lie about that. But now, talking about that 2025 thing, Trump disavowed that, and yet it's on the website. And also, she's talking about abortion, and Trump said it's up to the states. There's not going to be any national prohibition of abortion. Well, I'm in. It's up to the states to pass their own laws. And yet she's still saying he's going to do that.
Because she doesn't have anything else to run on. You know, it's like they understand the abortion issue is a wedge issue and it's an emotional issue. You have to keep pushing that lie because she knows that there are some idiots in her party. And look, they'll never say it out loud, but the idiots in her party will repeat that same nonsense over and over again. And no matter how much you try to correct them, no, that's not going to happen. But no, it's true. It's true. It's like, no, it's not true. But he changes a bit. No, it's just not true. They don't care. She's going to keep pushing it because that's all she's got.
Well, the one thing in my mind, and I'm guessing you and I think alike on a lot of things, the biggest thing the Democrats have going is lies. Not facts, but the facts are there because they've got her on tape calling every 18 to 24-year-old
an idiot.
I would run those ads.
So would I.
And she come out and talking about fracking. The day I'm inaugurated, I will outlaw fracking.
I'm going to talk about that in a little bit too. There's an interesting thing about what Kamala's doing about the on day one thing, and I'll explain what that is because everybody keeps saying, "Why doesn't she do it now? Why doesn't she do it now?" There's a game afoot in the Kamala Harris campaign, and I'll explain that a little bit though. I appreciate it.
Like they said, a fact is day one was almost 4 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate you.
Have a good one, Reese.
You got it, sir. Okay, let's see if we can get Fred in here real quick. Fred is in Middleton. We'll see if we can get him in here before we go to break. How are you, Fred?
I'm good. So Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein were quite the pals.
Weren't they?
Yes. Have you ever seen Gates trying to explain his way out of that?
It was on PBS, and his response was, well, he's dead now. Which was so cold, but that's the reason.
With that,
yes, that's the reason why Bill Gates is so dangerous, because the way he flippantly responded, like, well, he's dead now. Let's just move on. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
You're not dead, Bill.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, thank you.
You got it, man. I totally thought that was a cold son of a gun when he did that. He said, yeah, but he's dead now. What was her name? Woodward? I can't remember the woman's name on PBS that he had that interview with. She's turned out to be a mess. Who's that woman turned out to be a mess? And I'm not talking about her looks. I'm talking about the way in which she's reporting. She's been caught in PBS of all places. I get that they're left-leaning, but now they've gotten NPR silly, unfortunately. Like NPR silly, in a way. It's hard to believe that these people, like, why are we funding them? Why are our tax dollars funding these outfits? It's so pathetic. Ugh. Ralph, let me tell you this. Kamala Harris, what she's doing with this, what I'll do on day one, it's called political extortion. You want these things? You got to vote for me first. Oh, yeah, I can do them now. Of course I can do them now. But I hold all the cards. If you want that $25,000 for the house, if you want that $50,000 to start a new business, oh, no, we're not going to do it now. You got to vote for me to do it. You got to vote for me right now. And then I'll give it to you. It's just extortion. That's how they work. They're holding their policy hostage. And then the policies that they're really going to do to screw up the whole thing, that they keep hidden from you. That's the other hand behind the back. You know, while they're going out to reach your hand and they got one hand behind their back with their fingers crossed, Yeah, that's where the mallet is. That's where the rubber mallet is. Bong. As soon as you vote for him. That's exactly how they get you. We got to take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views. And, of course, your phone calls, 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Are you struggling with
And you're clear.
Hi, this is Mike. And at the Good Feet store.
And we'd have an EAS at 3:56.
Okay.
I'll start, I'll yell down the lines. I'll give you like a minute, a 30, a 10,
okay,
a 5.
Support system.
Then you said,
all kinds of
take a break for an EAS test. And then Silva will take it, and then I'll let you know when you're back.
Okay.
feet system.
What do we call it? Was it emergency
So did
alert?
Emergency alert system.
Alert system. Yes, I knew it was alert.
Most shoes and inserts only support one. And maybe that's the reason all those remedies you tried in the past just didn't work.
When the foot's placed in the ideal position, everything else up the kinetic chain works better. You have better balance, more energy. You're going to feel better. Being able to move freely and out of pain means everything to me. And good movement starts with the feet.
Come in today. We're located in Avon at 25 Climax Road across from Whole Foods. Good Feet Arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book an appointment for your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Or just stop in. Walk-ins are welcome.
Did you know that 9 out of 10 customers would recommend AAA insurance to a friend? That's higher than the percentage of people that love sunsets. Yeah, the thing's so majestic that the last time you saw one, you posted 25 blurry photos of it online. Don't worry, it's not about likes, it's about heart. Legendary service and superior coverage with AAA insurance, something 9 out of 10 people would recommend. Find out why and get a quote at AAA.com/insurance. Based on a 2023 customer survey. Insurance provided by CSAA Insurance.
Columbia Implant Center in Manchester offers the leading edge in technology, which allows for dental procedures, start to finish in one day. From a single tooth replacement to complete reconstruction, we do it all. Call 860-730-6020 or ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio
back in a minute.
We're about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. And if you're joining us on ReeseOnTheRadio.com and you see me with all my Jets gear on, well, the Jets are playing on Monday Night Football tonight in San Francisco against the San Francisco 49ers. And it's like watching your cousin fight Mike Tyson in his prime. You hope that your cousin does well, but you're okay if Mike Tyson wins, right? You're okay. I was like, my cousin put up a good fight. Yes, the Jets being my cousin in San Francisco, which is clearly a better team, and we're not sure whether or not, Old Man Rogers. That's what I've been singing all day. Old Man Rogers. I don't know whether or not he's going to stand up right for the entire game. This shirt and this hat may be the jinx. I was wearing it exactly on the first game of the year last year, so this could be it. We'll see what happens. Back to the phones we go. Let's go to Barbara in Avon. Hello, Barbara. Thank you for holding. What's going on?
Hey, Reese. So you had a caller that mentioned Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates.
Yeah.
And it made me think of Bill Gates' wife. She sued him for divorce. Was that early 2018?
Yeah, it was roughly around that time, yes.
Yeah. And 2017 in December, 2017. That's when Trump signed the executive order to freeze the accounts of anyone that's participating in the pedophilia, child trafficking, human trafficking of any kind. And that's another reason why they're going after Trump. But I just think it's interesting. It clicked my brain that
1 minute.
he signed that executive order shortly thereafter.
Ah, Barbara, you're in a bad area. Barbara, try to call me back in a little bit because I've got to go to a hard break, unfortunately, for an emergency alert system update. So just give me a second. Give yourself an opportunity to call back in the next, I want to say in the next half an hour or so, because I really want to hear that phone call. And I may have to delay Bob and
30
Sean
seconds.
as well because we've got this coming up, and of course I got a guest coming in at 4:05. So guys, hold on for a little bit. You may have to just call me back, but we'll talk about more of this and much more. The misinfo thing we're going to cover for the rest of the show, maybe with the exception of the 5 o'clock focus hour. But we'll get into that in a little bit. All right. Because it's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080. Stand by for an emergency alert system update.
All right, you're clear.
Test of the emergency alert system.
WTIC radio is conducting a test.
All right, you're back.
All right, we're back. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Okay, I've got time for Bob in Enfield. Bob, are you still there?
He dropped.
Oh, okay. We lost. How about Sean?
Sean's there.
Okay, let's take Sean. Let's take him for about a minute. Sean, can you come in within a minute? Oh, what is you're in a bad area too. Sean, yeah, let's see if we can get you in for 1 minute. How are you, sir?
Good. Real quick.
Oh, everybody. Is the entire system? I mean, we must have like one of those, what do you call it? Solar flares that's coming through Connecticut where everybody's phones are cutting out. Sean, try one more time.
No, he dropped.
Yeah, he's gone. Wow. It's like the whole neighborhood. We got Meriden, Enfield, and Avon. Everybody check your phones to make sure that you don't have some service interruptions in the area. All right. Otherwise, we'll just have to call me back, guys. If I don't get you in, I promise I'll get you in after we talk to Rob McGreevy from the Daily Caller News Foundation. All right. But for now, let's get into our first check in the afternoon traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese. Thank you very much. Good
You're clear.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're
It's Russia.
into the Hartford area right now, things are looking good on the highways. Not any major problems right now. Southbound 91 delays 33 down at 32 A and B. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slowing East Hartford approaching the Bulkley Bridge to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound, you're tied up 46 into the downtown tunnel. 291 through 84 okay east of the river. 2 eastbound moving well. Glastonbury to Marlboro. Quiet Middletown. Waterbury 84 eastbound a little tight as you move up on exit 18 in Waterbury. On the eastbound side of 84, you're going to see some delays now in Danbury between exit 5 and 7. If you're traveling into New Haven, 95 southbound, a little slow at exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC. For this afternoon, a gorgeous start to the new week and a great stretch of late summer weather coming up for the rest of the week. Sunny to partly cloudy this afternoon, the high of 76. It'll briefly become mostly cloudy this evening, then we'll have some clearing skies, the low down to 57. Beautiful day for Tuesday, sunny and nice, the high of 77. There'll be a nice breeze out of the northwest. Clear skies, quite cool for Tuesday night, the low all the way down to 47. Partly sunny, gorgeous day to be outdoors on Wednesday with a light breeze out of the east-southeast, the high of 79. Mostly sunny on Thursday, the high of 82. A little warmer Friday, sunny to partly cloudy skies, the high of 84. Remaining gorgeous right through the weekend. Saturday, mostly sunny, very warm, the high of 86. And abundant sunshine Sunday as well, the high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Your vacation possibilities just got more exciting. Enjoy connections to over 20 cities across Europe when you fly non-stop to Dublin from Hartford with Aer Lingus. Great fares from Bradley International Airport, now available on airlingus.com.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's 4 o'clock at afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The names of those involved in a fatal plane crash in Vermont. All Connecticut residents have been released. Here's WTIC's Morgan Cunningham with our report.
Vermont State Police say all the victims in Sunday afternoon's crash are from Connecticut. 55-year-old Paul Pelletier of Columbia, an aerospace teacher at Middletown High School. 88-year-old Frank Rodriguez of Lebanon. 51-year-old Susan Van Ness of Middletown. And 15-year-old Delilah Van Ness of Middletown. They left Wyndham Airport around 8:30 in the morning Sunday for Basin Harbor Airport just south of Burlington. They were going up there to have brunch, then leave shortly after 12 noon. The plane apparently did take off, but relatives became concerned when their loved ones did not return home as planned. Investigators in Vermont, who say they never received a distress call from the four-seat Piper airplane, found the remains of the crash in a wooded area near the airport just after midnight this morning. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080 News.
Schools in Middletown will be closed on Tuesday. There was an added police presence today at Edison Middle School in Meriden. This after a student allegedly made threats directed toward students on Snapchat. The Snapchat messaging app. Police got wind of the post on Sunday. The student has since been arrested and is charged with threatening. This student says just hearing about the threat was unnerving to him.
It's scary, actually, because I've never been in, that type of stuff. I tend to get very nervous.
Audio from WFSB. Now, police say the suspect could also face discipline from the Board of Education. The Princess of Wales says she has finished her chemotherapy and has returned to work as she begins the next phase of her cancer recovery.
In this update, the 42-year-old is seen in a field with her family, smiling and laughing in the 3-minute video.
The last 9 months have been incredibly tough for us as a family. Life as you know it can change in an instant. And we've had to find a way to navigate the stormy waters and road unknown.
Kensington Palace says she has begun to work from home, including projects on early childhood.
CBS's Matt Piper. Preps continue for Tuesday night's presidential debate. CBS's Ed O'Keefe with what the former president is up to.
As we understand it, it's been far less formal, more conversations or maybe quick review sessions with aides and other associates like the Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, who've been kind of reminding him of what his stance is on certain issues, trying to keep him focused on policy, on the issues themselves, less on the personal, believing that if he can try to remain substantive throughout this exchange, he's got a better shot of holding his own.
WTIC News Talk 1080 will carry the debate tomorrow night beginning at 9. Don't be surprised if in the next few weeks you see a plethora of acorns, more than in recent years. Those at the Connecticut Agricultural Experiment Station in New Haven say this could, in fact, be a record. A recent study by the Ag Station found 87% of red oak trees produced acorns when compared to the historical average of 57%. Joseph Barsky is the lead forest researcher for the study and explains how he did it.
I have 575 trees throughout the state at 12 different locations where I look at each tree for about 30 seconds. I count the number of acorns that I see on each tree in that time period, and then I also have a visual estimation of the percentage of the canopy that is covered in acorns.
Barsky says the oaks are making something of a comeback after years of stress due to drought. And members of the 2023-24 two-time defending national champion UConn men's basketball team will be the guests of honor at the White House on Tuesday. It'll be the 6th trip to the White House for a post-championship celebration for the Huskies. UConn became the first team in 17 years to repeat as national champions last April. On Wall Street, Closing Bell Report is sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. Dow up 484 points, NASDAQ up 193, and the S&P up 62 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hey, it's Tom Shattuck. Most goals we set for ourselves have a pretty clear...
Hold on a minute.
I want a trip to Nashville, so you read a couple of reviews, talk to a few friends, save up some money, and book it. Maybe a couple of choices along the way, but overall, it's a clear course to reach your goal. Now, if your goal is to lose 40 or 50 pounds, where's the clear path? You read reviews, talk with a few friends, and try something out. When it doesn't work, you're disappointed. We've all been there, and it sucks. You know what I say? Stop trying. Do what I did and start doing. Reach your goal with Awaken 180. It's a clear course to success without the disappointment. No guesswork, no trial and error, and no medication side effects. I'm proof. I dropped 80 pounds my first go at it, and it was simple. A word never associated with weight loss, except when referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear course to success with the solution for weight loss. Set your course today by calling 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or go to Awaken 180.
All right, here we go.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
What was the stupidest thing that I read all day? Well, I read quite a lot of stupid things, to be honest with you, because it's my day. But today, I thought it was something interestingly stupid. And it ended up in the Hartford Current of all places. But it's a story about Donald Trump saying that he is going to he was going to put in prison all of his adversaries in what was supposed to be a truth post. It couldn't be further from the truth. What he suggested was that the criminal justice system, his Department of Justice, should go after people who cheat in elections, who lie, right? Who actually commit crimes. For the Associated Press to suggest those are his adversaries as if they're on equal standing to Donald Trump. So Donald Trump says we need to go after people who have rigged elections, who have cheated in elections, who have broken laws, who've committed crimes. To then say that he's going after his adversaries is a joke. But they wrote it. They wrote it. Check out the story yourself. Go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's ReeseOnTheRadio.com. And just scroll down, and the headline is there. Stupidest thing I've read today. I've got another great story set up for tomorrow, but I'm just doing one a day. I don't want to inundate you with too many of them. Because I find them and then I have to share them, and I'm only sharing them because I'm just reading the story, and as I'm reading it, I'm going, this is the Associated Press. This is how bad it's gotten at the news wires. It took 3 people to write this stupid story, by the way. Do you know that? It's probably 4 paragraphs. That's how dumb this is. It's just bad, just awful. What I hope isn't awful is the traffic in the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. We getting bad out there yet, or are we still okay?
No, we're doing okay. It's not awful, that's for sure. And Reese, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. This traffic report being brought to you by
You're clear.
Fast, friendly, and reliable plumbing services. Visit calljoethepplumber.com. And if you're making your way on the westbound side of I-84, coming into downtown Hartford, just a little slow. Bulkley Bridge up to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound slowing, approaching 48 Capitol Avenue down to the Bulkley Bridge. Southbound 91 delays by 33 Jennings Road. Northbound 91's quiet. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291 through 84 looking good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay into Glastonbury. If you are traveling 9 southbound, a little slow as you move by the 372 interchange in Cromwell. Quiet Waterbury 84 and 8. If you're traveling into Danbury, 84 eastbound delays from exit 5 up to exit 8 on the eastbound side of 84. South 95 New Haven slowing 46 down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
They say diamonds are forever, but forever's a long time, especially when you're waiting for a plumber. So join Joe the Plumber's Diamond Club. Diamond Club members get front-of-the-line service, plus discounts and reduced fees. Join the Diamond Club today at calljoetheplumber.com.
WTIC weather.
As we head through the rest of the evening and overnight, well, we'll have mostly cloudy skies briefly, then some clearing overnight. The low down to 57. Sunny and nice. A great day to be outdoors for our Tuesday. The high of 77. A nice breeze out of the northwest. As we head through Wednesday, another partly sunny, beautiful day. We've got a great stretch of weather here coming up as we go through much of the rest of the week. Wednesday, again, the high 79. Thursday, mostly sunny, a little warmer, the high of 82. And we'll round out the week, sunny to partly cloudy Friday, the high of 84. Right now, New Haven 75. So is Bridgeport and Hartford, for that fact. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Atlas Roofing Shingles with Scotchgard Protector. Protect your home and avoid those dark stains on your roof caused by algae. Available now from the Peter L. Brown Company. For a free roofing estimate, please visit peterlbrown.com.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1932 $10 gold Indian coins have been found. These gorgeous 1932 gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1932 dated gold coin featuring Lady Liberty with an Indian war headdress and a majestic eagle. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1932 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 92 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-520-6468. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus over a $55 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-520-6468 now to secure your 1932 $10 gold Indian coins before they sell out. Don't wait. You must act fast. Call now.
Hi, I'm Deb. With my Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel.
I'm Jan, Deb's sister. With my Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel.
Okay, but I said it first.
All right.
My Big Y Rewards.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Ooh. Unsung rap song, De Commerçat. It's Reese on the radio. Let's get right into it. None other than Rob McGreevy. Friend to the room. Rob McGreevy from the Daily Caller News Foundation is on the line with us. Rob, what's going on, buddy? Rob, are you there? There he is. Hey, Rob, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you, Reese?
Pretty good. So you've got two articles in the Daily Caller News Foundation's website today about what's going on in Brazil. And in essence, this is the censorship of the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter. But I don't know if you heard the breaking news. Now Rumble is affected. Are you there, Rob? Rob, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Hey, how are you, sir?
Good. How you
Okay.
doing, Reese?
All right. I don't know if you heard. So again, you have two articles about the censorship of the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, in Brazil. I want to talk a little bit about the funny story that's all about this, the insane story. But I want to get to the crux. But I don't know if you heard the breaking news that now Rumble is a part of that censorship. Have you heard that?
No, that just happened?
Yeah, it just happened a little while ago. As I was checking out your story, I got just in, Rumble is no longer available in Brazil, a direct attack on freedom of expression in yet another country. So it turns out now Rumble, and they have a message to Rumble users. It says, notice to users in Brazil. Because of Brazilian government's demands to remove creators from our platform, Rumble is currently unavailable in Brazil. We are challenging these government demands and hope to restore access soon.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's insane. So your article is twofold. You wrote two articles, one about the debate or the back and forth between Elon Musk and Alejandro de Moraes, the Brazilian Supreme Court justice. Give us a little bit, give us the backstory there.
Yeah, so just briefly, but basically what happened, and this has been somewhat broiling since April, when this judge basically made some requests to Twitter and his own government to have
the accounts of people who are critical of him get banned. And the early reporting, a lot of these accounts were pretty high-profile people. And essentially, when Twitter refused to comply, Twitter's legal representative within the country, the judge threatened her with jail and fines. She ended up quitting because of that. She didn't want to go to jail.
Right.
And then the judge said, okay, well, now you don't have a legal representative. That's a violation of Brazilian law. So now you're done. And he basically banned them over that. But the pretext of all of it is him sort of petitioning Twitter, Elon Musk, and his own government to silence his critics. And now we're finding out it's not just high-profile people, and it's not just people who are explicitly criticizing him. He's petitioned to have like people with like 500 followers banned, and there's no record of them ever talking about him. They're just publicly conservative, which seems to be their only crime that he has an issue with.
Interesting. So now another aspect of this is that we have the NFL who took a football game for the first time to Brazil. And the scary part about this was, at first, the fact that I think one of the Philadelphia players put out a video that I think the Daily Caller even posted, was one of the players talking about when they get to Brazil, they have to stay in their hotel room. They have to eat in the hotel room. They can't leave the hotel room because of the rampant violence in Brazil, right? And they can't wear the color green. That was another crazy thing. But what your article is the most amazing one. This is the most amazing part of the article, is that the football players' wives had to text the beat reporters for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers so that they could get, the reporters, I apologize, had to text message their wives so their wives could post what was happening live on the reporters' Twitter accounts because they could not do that in Brazil.
Right. And I mean, God forbid they use a VPN.
Yes.
To try to circumvent those laws, they'd get fined $10,000.
Yeah. And
that's the rule now.
Now, the crazy part about it is, and again, this is the most important part here. Now, and I think this is where your article sort of, it sort of talks about this without talking about it. And it's sort of, let's just say it makes you think about it without having to write it. The one thing that we have in the United States are people talking about the free press. And they don't care about the free press just here. They believe that in the free press everywhere. They send journalists across the country to tell us what's going on, across the world to tell us what's going on. And they believe in a free and fair press. Here you have beat reporters at a football game. Now, I know it's only a football game. But because of these laws in Brazil, these reporters couldn't even tell fans at home about the game on Twitter, and they had to go through their wives in order to do that. Now, take that into consideration, Rob, that you have the Attorney General of Minnesota, none other than Keith Ellison, on Twitter saying, "Obrigado, Brazil," which means thank you, Brazil, for banning X in their country.
It's crazy. It's madness. And the pretext is not really existent. That nobody has really been able to vocalize what exactly their issue is, why Elon Musk shouldn't be allowed to have this platform. And yeah, like you said, these are the people who will be, free speech crusaders from 2016 to 2020 when, they were inventing a Trump versus the press beef to say Trump is the worst president in history to attack media freedoms. And the most important thing is freedom of the press. Are now saying, well, the ball's not in our court anymore, and it's not so important now that we're losing it.
And what the crazy part is this thing that journalists use Twitter, or X for that matter, to give information to their readers and their subscribers or followers in real time, right? Without having to wait for a published article, they get that stuff free. And that's the reason why they celebrated it. But of course, now because Elon Musk has it, or he's the owner of it, they have a problem with it. But this story about the reporters having to contact their wives, this, and again, I don't ever suggest or tell people how to do their job, but I do want to, if I can make a suggestion, Rob, if you could, if you're interested in it, I want to give you a suggestion at the Daily Caller. Okay?
Please.
Take this story and ask all of the free speech proponents in Washington how they felt about the journalists having to go around, in other words, to inform the fans about a game, right? The NFL is supposed to be expanding, that the NFL beat reporters had to do this. They had to tweet or text their wives to get them to report to them because they could not freely discuss what was happening while the NFL, an American game, America's, new pastime, was happening in other countries. How they feel about that. And if you can, get Keith Ellison's response to this as well, because I'm sure he's a football fan. I would love to know how he feels about the NFL beat writers, because imagine what else reporters will not be able to report in Brazil. There's a lot of stuff going on that they'll never be able to talk about. They'll have to find other ways to report in real time to the American people.
Right. And, first of all, it's a great idea, and I'd love to do it. I'll have a crack at it. I doubt Keith Ellison is going to get back.
Oh, yeah, well, of course not.
A shot. But it is interesting because Brazil is like fourth or fifth biggest country in the world from a population standpoint.
Right.
And, of course, political corruption happens there. It happens here. And, since Elon Musk took over X, it's been the number one platform to eliminate sort of gatekeepers and get people real-time access to information. And whether or not all the information on there is perfect or great, it is irrelevant because people now have the choice to view what they want to see themselves, and they can build up their own discernment and critical thinking skills as to what's important and what they need to read and what they can and can't believe. But people are adults, and they have the right to be able to see what they want to see. That a lot of times people talk about with censorship, the issue they have with taking someone's platform of speech away from them.
Yeah.
But the speaker's not the only one that's harmed. It's also the person that would be the receiver of that information. People don't think about, so-and-so X got banned from Twitter, Alex Jones got deplatformed, Trump got deplatformed. They're not the primary victims of that. It's the people that should be on the receiving end of their information that should be more upset. And people that have no platform, don't want to speak, don't want to get their message out there should be the ones most upset because they're the ones that should be taking in the information.
That's correct. We're on the phone with Rob McGreevy of the Daily Caller News Foundation. Rob, let me play you this because I'm all over Keith Ellison. This was just about I want to say 2 weeks ago. Keith Ellison was on News Nation. And this was it last week when Mark Zuckerberg wrote that letter to to Jim Jordan about its response?
It was 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago. Okay. This is immediately after that. On News Nation, Keith Ellison was on, and they were talking about Mark Zuckerberg's letter to Jim Jordan. Here's how the exchange went.
Here's what Zuckerberg said in his letter to the House Judiciary Committee. He said, quote, in 2021, senior officials from the Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressured our teams for months to censor certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire. Mark Zuckerberg now says he regrets, essentially, how Meta acted. Did the White House get this wrong?
Now, the direct question is, did the White House get this wrong? Remember, this is the guy, Keith Ellison, who said to Brazil, obrigado, Brazil.
Right.
Thank you, Brazil. He answered as you would expect.
Mr. Attorney General?
Well, the Meta got a lot of things wrong. Meta needs to look at how
what
its
about the White House?
algorithms. No, I heard what you said. Obviously you're asking me that because of the political environment, but if you want to talk about who got things wrong, Meta got a lot of things wrong. It's good they apologize for it. There's more that they've done wrong. And, we're holding them accountable in the courtroom to try to get them to answer for all of the things that they've done that they should not have done, including manipulating their algorithms that have led kids to do and be involved in a lot of things that are extremely dangerous and unhealthy. So did the White House get it wrong? Meta got it wrong.
Can you believe that? He actually asked himself the question again. Did the White House get it wrong? No, Meta got it wrong. This guy's a jerk. He's a scumbag. I hate this guy. He makes me angry. You know what he is? He is like an MC Hammer song. He is ear garbage. I hate this guy.
Well, it's funny that we can all kind of agree on the main issue, which is we all do think Facebook got it wrong.
Yeah.
But how far apart we are and just exactly how they got it wrong is mind blowing. And one other thing I will say about Obligado is, for weeks and weeks on end, I heard about how destructive it was to democracy that Donald Trump thanked Russia for interfering in our elections by putting their thumb on the scale, as the media would call it.
Right.
And here we have somebody thanking a foreign government for interfering in our information ecosystem while our elections are weeks away, and not a peep out of the same people who were crying over that for months.
Insane. And again, this is the Attorney General of Minnesota congratulating Brazil for keeping our journalists from being able to report to their viewers, their readers via X in real time as things are happening, so they don't have to wait for the published account of those things. And again, the fact that like I said, I would just tweet him to get a response, but of course we're never going to get one. But other people, I think they should, you guys have station inside the White House. I would ask, maybe not Corinne Jean-Pierre, but I would ask other journalists how they feel about, because I know, look, there are beat journalists that are going to be, that watch this game in Brazil. And not only that, it was a big game for the NFL in their expansion to other countries, being in Brazil for the first time. So that's how important it was to these journalists to talk about what was happening in real time. The fact that they had to send video clips and send content to their wives or their spouses in order to get it out to the viewer, and no one remotely said, okay, this is bad, somebody needs to say something. The fact that everybody was so silent is so problematic.
Well, the people that would be saying this is bad, I mean, where would they be saying it? On Twitter.
That's right.
Nobody hear them.
It's a good point. Good point. Hey, like I said, I think we should, and all of the reporters that couldn't get their content out directly from them and had to go through their wives, I would get some interviews from them and find out how frustrating it was for them to do their jobs. That would be.
No, I think that's a great idea, and I'm going to look into that. So
Thank
keep
you.
Your eyes peeled.
No problem. Rob McGreevy, Daily Caller News Foundation reporter, thank you as always, man. I love you guys. You have no idea. I'm one of your biggest fans in the world. I love you guys over at the Daily Caller.
I love to hear it, Reese. The feeling's mutual.
Thank you, man. All right. When we come back, more news, more views. We got to get into this stupid report that's on there as well. So we'll get into that shortly. And I've got to get into, I got to tease the 5 o'clock focus. Stand by for that one. My wife came up with this one. I know you're going to love it. We're going to have a little bit of fun later on. Stick around. We'll be back with that. But for now, let's get into the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon.
You're clear.
Thank you.
And if you are traveling on the southbound side of Route 9, we have an accident now in Cromwell, and that is just south of exit 27. You're only getting by on the right shoulder now, and delays pushing back toward I-91 and Cromwell behind that, so you want to stay way right as you approach the exit 27 area on 9 South in Cromwell. Now, heading into Hartford, 84 eastbound, look for slow traffic as you move from exit 46 Sisson Avenue down into the Bulkley Bridge. If you're westbound, 84, a little tight now as you move from the Bulkley Bridge up to 47 Sigourney Street. Southbound 91 losing a little speed by 33 Jennings Road, and again down by exit 28 on the Hartford Wethersfield line. Northbound 91 looking good, Rocky Hill through downtown up into Windsor. 291 through 84, okay east of the river. Heading into the Waterbury area, very quiet there, 84 and 8. 84 eastbound Danbury slowing 3 to 5. South 95 New Haven tight 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For this afternoon, a gorgeous start to the new week and a great stretch of late summer weather coming up for the rest of the week. Sunny to partly cloudy this afternoon, the high of 76. It'll briefly become mostly cloudy this evening, then we'll have some clearing skies, the low down to 57. Beautiful day for Tuesday, sunny and nice, the high of 77. There'll be a nice breeze out of the northwest. Clear skies, quite cool for Tuesday night, the low all the way down to 47. Partly sunny, gorgeous day to be outdoors on Wednesday with a light breeze out of the east-southeast, the high of 79. Mostly sunny on Thursday, the high of 82. A little warmer Friday, sunny to partly cloudy skies, the high of 84. Remaining gorgeous right through the weekend. Saturday, mostly sunny, very warm, the high of 86. And abundant sunshine Sunday as well, the high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
The Red Sox are getting closer to their goal of making the playoffs. A big series in Fenway with the AL East rival Baltimore Orioles starts tonight at 6:10 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080. And now, a WTIC News Update.
4:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. 73 degrees, sunny skies in the capital city. 4 people from Connecticut died over the weekend when their plane went down in Vermont. The 4 had flown there out of Wyndham for brunch. They were on their way back. 2 of the victims were from Middletown, 1 from Lebanon, and the 4th from Columbia. There was added security at Edison Middle School in Meriden today. Over the weekend, police say a juvenile was arrested for making threats via Snapchat. Police say additional disciplinary action for the youth could come by way of the Board of Education. Princess Kate says she has completed her cancer treatment. She announced last spring that she had been diagnosed with a form of the disease that was not released. She is expected to keep a limited schedule through the end of this year. State police tried to stop an erratic driver prior to a crash that took the man's life Sunday in Wallingford. They say the Cadillac Escalade Jonathan Garcia was driving wound up hitting a Chevy Silverado.
You're going to love this story coming up, Joey. I swear to God, you're going to love it.
Garcia died at an area hospital. The 2
Boy, I'm worried.
Oh, you're going to love this story.
Final preparations underway.
This audience is going to love it because it's right in their wheelhouse. It's right in their age group.
WTIC News Talk 1080 will
so
carry
bad.
the debate live beginning at 9.
Now you got me nervous.
Oh,
Eddie Kranepool has died.
I promise you, you're going to have a good laugh. You are.
It's going to be a laugh cry because I'll be sad.
It's just going to be like, holy hell. Just the fact that this has actually come out. I cannot believe. This is an old story, but I'm just hearing about it now.
The Dow finished up 400.
Well, now I'm intrigued.
The NASDAQ gained 193 and the S&P gained 62 points. As you heard in the promo into the news, Orioles and Red Sox at Fenway tonight, 6:10 here on the radio. The Yanks open a series in Kansas City against the Royals. NFL Monday Night Football. The Jets open their season in San Fran against the 49ers. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special, both for you and your partner. At Northeast Men's Health, we're the leader in treating ED in the area. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no 2 cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices in the Northeast to serve you.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121.
Stay locked in. in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC. News Talk 1080.
I love these little 2-minute breaks before we get into traffic because I find these stories and some people send them to me, and this one is absolutely amazing. Joey, I'm sure you remember Family Feud back in the day and the famous host, Mr. Richard Dawson.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I was not a huge fan of the Family Feud at any time, but I've watched plenty of the clips on television and some of the reruns.
Yep.
But you might remember that Richard Dawson had a famous habit with all of the female contestants on the program. Do you remember what that was?
The little peck on the cheek.
Yeah. How about the peck on the lips? Yes. Richard Dawson would go in full on for the lips. Didn't matter who the woman was. He would smack them right there on the lips. Well, according to a book, this article, by the way, came out in November of 2023. How I missed it, I don't know, but I'm buying it now on Amazon. It's called The History of Showbiz and the Culture Wars. And apparently it details some of the things that happen behind the scenes at some of your favorite game shows.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, Richard Dawson's Family Feud in particular. Here's an anecdote that would probably leave the current host, Steve Harvey, speechless. Family Feud contestants had to take herpes tests during Richard Dawson's tenure as the host, according to the new book.
Oh, my job's not so bad.
So they would, wait. But the test, you would think it wasn't medical. Oh, it was the most draconian test of all, right? So what they would do is, a contestant revealed that before her appearance, the Family Feud production assistant entered the dressing room with a magnifying glass and a cotton swab. Okay, everybody line up for your herpes test, they would say. This is the most insane thing I've heard about a game show in my life, with the exception of the email leak when Paramount and what's the name got hacked, and I found out that Alex Trebek almost quit Jeopardy before his tenure was over. Yeah, I remember that. That one's crazy. But yeah, so Richard Dawson, you know, because I remember a lot of people when I was growing up, my mom used to say, he's just kissing everybody on the lip. He don't worry about getting nothing. Well, turns out they were. Yep. Mom, vindicated. So
Maury's in the back. You got the herpes.
I can't. This is the most insane thing I've ever read in my life.
Wow.
But it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, but you know, I've always thought of like that era as being very reckless.
Yeah.
But you know what? Richard Dawson, I don't know if I have a newfound respect for him, because it sounds like he's a little bit like cautious, which seems like I don't know how I feel about this. I almost feel like the contestant would be somewhat humiliated, because if I'm a woman, I'm going, well, I don't want to kiss him anyway.
Yeah, like, come
How
on.
dare him test me for herpes? And like, who did anyone
Shake
ever?
my hand.
Yeah, like, did anyone ever object? Or was part of the thing getting on Family Feud and winning $10,000 and kissing Richard Dawson? Like,
Yeah, like what subsection of the contract was that in?
Exactly. I'm just, what? I mean, but the walk in, that's like telling everybody to come in and let's check your breath. But coming in and say, okay, ladies, line up for your herpes test. And remember, it's only the ladies that are being asked.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, do you understand? I can't even say certain things to my wife about dinner. How could you walk up to a woman and ask her to take her herpes test?
I mean, there's a line here, and Mark Christopher doing traffic.
I'm sorry.
Stay away
Forgive
from
me. Let's go to BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. How we doing, Mark? That's
Reese, I'm doing really well. Good afternoon to you. And good
You're
afternoon.
clear.
Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, we do have an issue.
Imagine the stuff that went on behind the scenes at like
Well, it's not
other game shows then.
27. An accident
Exactly.
down there on the right
It's just-
shoulder.
What went on behind the stage, the dating game?
Yes.
Going to crumble behind that. If you are heading into downtown Hartford right now, eastbound side of 84, look for delays about a half mile before 46th Avenue up to 48 Capitol Avenue. Westbound 84 tight, approaching the Bulky Bridge to 47. Southbound 91's a little slow at 33 Jennings Road. 291 30
Curious if there's a chapter about Bob Barker getting busy.
to Marlboro.
Probably.
If you're heading toward Waterbury, that looks good, 84 and 8. Danbury's a little slow, 84 eastbound by exit 3, and 95 South New Haven slowing 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8s, WTIC News Talk 1080.
Tune in to WTIC News Talk 1080 for Healthy Rounds, Saturday mornings 11 till noon. Learn from the top experts about the latest medical news and call in with your questions. Healthy Rounds, sponsored by Hartford Healthcare, Saturday mornings 11 till noon on WTIC News Talk 1080 and WTIC.com. WTIC weather.
As we head through the evening, it'll be mostly cloudy briefly. Then we'll have some clearing skies overnight. Comfortable but mild. The low down to 57. Sunny and nice. Great day for Tuesday. The high of 77. Gorgeous weather for the rest of the week, for that fact. Partly sunny Wednesday. The high 79. Mostly sunny Thursday. The high 82. Sunny to partly cloudy Friday. The high of 84. And beautiful straight through the weekend. In fact, quite warm. Saturday, mostly sunny. Very warm. The high up to 86. Abundant sunshine Sunday, the high of 82. Great stretch of weather coming up here. Right now, Meriden 73, Bristol 74, it's 75 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Brian Shackman here for Brian & Company and WTIC News Talk 1080. Hope you had a wonderful Monday, Tuesday show. All your news, weather, and traffic. We're on the air.
Saw some of the pictures you posted. Roseanne, have a good time?
Oh, she had a great time, man.
Awesome.
So,
Cody,
such a
you know her
great
from
time.
WTNH. Well, she wrote a book around every corner of Connecticut.
It's great when we have those intimate moments, just her and I. We got this view. We're high above the city,
She'll be in studio.
and it's like rotating, so it's like a different view, and we're just looking down. And
News Talk 1080.
No herpes tests.
Has been injured in an accident? You need the Carter Mario Law Firm. Connecticut's firm for the injured.
Thank you.
We are ready to fight for you.
That's now the baseline to anything I ever have to do around here. At least there's no herpes test.
Get Carter.
This is a commercial for California Psychics, America's most.
I got to work Saturday. At least there's no herpes test.
Right, there you go.
Sign. This is it. No, really, this is it. You won't see your soul.
Yeah, it looked like you guys had a good time. That's cool.
She did. It was amazing the way it just worked itself
this
out.
Really is it. We could add some dramatic sound effects if you'd like. So what you waiting for? Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
La 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 la.
Oops. Ever had your singing lessons cut short by icy water?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Say goodbye to those cold notes with Navien tankless water heaters. With Navien, you'll hit all the right notes without the surprise chill. So keep singing and let Navien keep the hot water flowing. And get ready for the encore when you get your utility bill. Tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Get high-quality heating and cooling solutions from TMS.
TMS does it best.
Heating and air conditioning repair.
TMS does it best.
Installation and maintenance.
TMS does it best.
Same-day service plus financing available for all repairs. TMS, where trust meets service.
WTIC News Talk 1080. The more you listen, the more you know.
What's going on, everybody? It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC, 5 o'clock focus coming up. This one's going to be fun. I'm going to lighten the mood a little bit because it's Monday, and my wife came up with a great 5 o'clock focus, so be prepared. Joey, you're going to have to contribute to this as well because this is right in your wheelhouse, and with all the discussions we've had, you're going to love answering this question. But you're going to have to embarrass yourself a little bit, though, okay?
We'll be the first.
All right, no problem. All right, I want to talk about this, and before I get to the phone calls, just hear me out. You guys know that the topic of conversation at the end of last week was the shooting that happened in Georgia with the 14-year-old boy. He and his father have now been charged, and they are both locked up. They will not see any type of bail, so they're going to stay in jail until, of course, they've either reached a plea deal or they go to trial. But if you've been following this story as of late, everything that I said in my Thursday monologue is now appearing to be 100% true. And that is several people were alerted to what was going on with this 14-year-old before the shooting. So much that I find out last night that one of the grandparents went to the school to warn them about this young man. All of the warning signs were there. In fact, there were people giving warning signs. Yet, we still had this. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I meant when I said on Thursday in my opening monologue. Is that we have a lot of people that even when people are saying something, people are doing nothing. I don't know if it's none of my business sort of approach. I want to stay out of it. I believe that we become so isolated. And it's weird that I have to say this. But I used to say this tongue-in-cheek because people used to sort of get, I used to say things that were pretty provocative. I was in Shock Jock Radio. I'm not going to lie. But I used to say it, but I meant something by it. And I knew the response that I would get when I said it. But Ted Kaczynski was right. Not in what he did, what he wrote. He said that a social media or the internet, as it were going to isolate people. It wasn't going to get people involved with one another. It was going to isolate people. And that's what this has turned into. People have gotten in. What do they say about internet thugs? They sit around in their own little hole and they threaten and comment about everyone while they're sitting in someone's basement or in their bedroom, or they're sitting on their couch doing nothing with their lives, criticizing everybody else doing something with theirs. We've become so isolated that people they just want to respond and react to things. We've become very reactionary. We want to be outraged at everything. We don't even respond when the outrage is happening right in front of us. And here we had family members who were telling people, look, there's something wrong. We have to address it. No one addressed it. At the school, they allowed this child to, and from what the reports came out last night, this child was in and out of class all the time. That people were concerned that he was violent. And we learned a half an hour before the shooting took place, an administrator went to the wrong child with the same name 30 minutes before the first shot was fired. A second too late. In this case, 30 minutes too late. So there needs to be, look, everything starts with every one of us. We have to be more engaged with people. We have to be more engaged in the communities that we live in. When we see something, we've got to say something. We've got to stop it with the, it's none of my business. We've got to get out of, I ain't no rat. You allow that stuff to persist, it gets worse. And eventually, it becomes you. Now, mind you of this, there's a story now out of California. The California Police Department confiscates gun from a legal gun owner who fired at a thug in Chicago. Oh, no, sorry, Chicago. I said California. Chicago Police Department. A Chicago Police Department has confiscated a legal gun owner's gun who fired at a thug who was climbing into his daughter's bedroom. They confiscated his gun. So everyone's focusing on the wrong thing. Gun. But everybody was warned about what was going on. And they did nothing. No one finds that odd?
I run out my room. I ran right there. I'm like, yo, somebody's trying to come through my window. So my mom immediately acted on it.
He was like hanging on her window. So I just told him, like, I have a gun, I'm going to shoot. And he just didn't stop. So I fired a warning shot. I didn't even know that he got hit.
That's until police arrived on East 69th near Oglesby, where they found the 36-year-old suspect shot in the leg. He was taken to the hospital in fair condition. His life spared, but now armed with what the family hopes is a hard-learned lesson.
Next time you think about coming through somebody's window, you just remember how that bullet felt.
So again, another story. Good guy with a gun, or good girl with a gun. Everyone's focusing on the gun, forgetting all the warning signs. Huh. I don't know. You tell me. 860-522-WTIC. Wayne's in Morris. How we doing, Wayne?
Good. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I wanted to tell you something a little interesting, just a quick little ditty from yesterday.
No, go for it.
My wife and I went to the Bethlehem Fair, County Fair. It's closest to us. Morris is too small to have something like that, but Bethlehem is quite a well-established fair. It's been around for 99 years, and we've been going for about 30 years.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things we noticed, or I noticed anyways, as soon as we walked in the gates, was the number of Trump merchandise that was on display. People wearing it, red hats, T-shirts. It was everywhere. And apparently there were several booths selling Trump merchandise. And as we got around now, we follow the same pattern, we do every year.
Yeah.
And the first two booths we come to is the local Democrat Party and then the Republican Party. Their booths are right next to each other. There was no one manning the Democrat Party booth. There was no one in there.
No one there?
There was no one there. And there was a couple of small Harris signs, and that was it, hanging on the back wall. And then we go next door to the Democrat booth, and one of our local representatives was there meeting and greeting people.
Right.
So a lot of people were stopping, and they were engaging with him. And we're seeing these people going by with the red hats and T-shirts and all this. And as we get around to a couple different areas of the fair, we finally get to this very large booth that is selling Trump merchandise. And the line is four people thick. I mean,
wow.
It's packed with people fighting. And I had seen a couple of people walking around with mounted pictures of Trump. The
right.
one from the assassination.
Yeah.
And I said, "Wow, I'd love to get one of those." Well, by the time we got to the booth, they had been sold out.
Wow. And they were now the Democrat booth. They weren't let's just say intimidated at all of the Trump support surrounding them.
We don't know. There was no one in the booth.
Well, at least you said one of the local representatives was there. They were meeting and greeting with the other people. Oh, they were Republican?
In the Republican booth.
Oh, in the Republican booth. Oh, okay. So no one bothered to show up at the Kamala Harris booth.
No one showed up at the, no.
That's horrible.
We walked by again and no one was there. So they didn't even bother to have someone there.
What? Hey, you know what? Hey, listen. You know what happened, Wayne, right? They were following the campaign's template, not showing up. That's pretty much. They were following by design.
It was really overwhelming. And then there was a couple of smaller booths that sold, other things. But they also had Trump merchandise to sell.
Yeah.
There was at least four of the booths.
Well, wait until the next half hour or so. I'm going to talk about my little farmer's market experience. I talked about it on my Sunday show, but I'll share it with you later on. Thank you, Wayne. Let's get to Wally and Vernon. How we doing, Wally?
You're doing real well, Reese. I don't know whether you caught this or not, but so our illustrious governor, Greg Lamont, on Fox News, gaslighting everybody about how open and transparent Kamala is and how everybody knows what she's about.
Whose show was he on?
Not Shannon Breen.
Oh, no, it wasn't. No, it had to be Shannon Breen. Was it the Sunday show?
No. It was today.
Oh, today. Okay, was he on Martha McCallum's show or was he on the 3 p.m.? Martha McCallum show. Okay. All right, I will get that audio.
Oh yeah, you got to get it. And when she challenged him on it, he looked like a deer in the headlights. I mean, this man does not have two functioning brain cells. He was aghast.
Well, I would imagine as much. I got to get that audio because, again, look, he rarely goes. And look, I rag on Connecticut Sunday shows. Unfortunately, they try to ask the hard questions, but I get why they don't because they want the governor to come back. So they're not going to put him up against the wall and force him to answer the tough questions. So they're sort of weak-kneed when they address him. Martha McCallum is a straight newswoman, so I give it to her. I like her. There are very few in the news game that I like, but Brett Baer, Martha McCallum, and Catherine Heritage, I like all three of them because, Catherine Heritage, thank God that woman's got her own thing on Twitter going on now. I've always had a big crush on her, but not in that kind of way. I mean, a crush on her as a journalist. She really is, bar none, one of the best journalists in the game. I love that woman.
I don't disagree with you at all.
Absolutely.
I thought I'd bring that up. I don't know whether you
No, I didn't touch on it because I didn't even know it was happening, but I appreciate you letting me know.
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff. Go and get it, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. By the way, we were talking about at the beginning of the show what the name of the tabloid newspaper was that used to be on the shelves at the supermarket when we were kids, and it was called Weekly World News. That was the name of it. It was always in black and white. And it said Weekly World and the big word news was there, but it was called the Weekly World News. That was the newspaper that was always at the newsstands next to the Sun, which was the other one, and the National Enquirer. And they always had the most insane stories. In fact, someone is selling a Weekly World News newspaper on eBay, and the headline reads, "Mom gives self a cesarean on the headlines. They've got plenty of others that are like crazy. Like, I gave birth to an alien. I gave birth to Elvis's baby in 1985. It's like weird stuff. But I love those newspapers because they were, in fact, you might remember this for those of you who saw the first Men in Black movie with Will Smith.
Hot sheets.
Yeah, that's right. Tommy Lee Jones, in the beginning, tells Will Smith, how do we get information on what's happening with the aliens across the globe? And he pulled out the Weekly World News. And he's like, what, the crazy little newspapers you get in the supermarket? He was like, yeah. And he would go through the pages and, in essence, say, these stories were real.
UFO crashed and stole my husband's body.
Yes, exactly.
That's how they got Edgar.
That's exactly how they got Edgar. So that's, kind of like it was a play on the whole Weekly World News articles. I love them because, again, I worked in the supermarket as a kid, and to read those things were just fun. For me, it was just, you laughed at them that people wrote this stuff, and they had to be, whoever wrote them had to have the most imaginative job in the world. He had to make up some of this stuff and then create, as the news business calls, art for that particular article. It was, whoever had to do that, they had the best job ever. I'd love to do an interview with a guy who worked for those newspapers. If you know somebody, let them know Reese on the Radio is trying to hunt them down. I just want to know what that whole process was.
I want to know whatever happened to Bat Boy.
Yes! Bat Boy! Don't even get me started. Bat Boy. Half bat, half boy. He was the best. Everybody, you know what? I was jealous of Bat Boy. Who didn't want to be? I'm not going to lie. Even as a grown man, I've pretended to do the Spider-Man web thing. Because who wouldn't want to? Bat Boy is the best. I'm sure he's passed away by now, right? He's got to be gone. Was he a real person? I don't know. I'm over here. I'm going back. I'm nostalgic. I'm all over the place. Okay, when we come back, the 5 o'clock focus is coming up. Stay tuned for that at about 5:05. I'm going to tell you what the 5 o'clock focus is today. You can all contribute by calling 860-522-WTIC. For now, let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if
you're clear.
Thank you.
On 9 southbound, we're dealing with a crash just south of exit 27. Only the right shoulder gets by. You're back to exit 29 in Cromwell behind it in the I-91 interchange. Hartford 84 eastbound's a little tight as you move up on exit 46th Avenue down into the tunnel. Westbound 84 slowing Bulkley Bridge, and it's sluggish right out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. Southbound 91's just losing a little speed, getting by 33, again down by exit 28 on the Hartford Weatherseal line. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. No issues east of the river, 291, 384, okay. 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury into Marlboro. Heading toward Waterbury right now, that looks good, 84 and 8. 84 eastbound in Danbury slowing 3 to 5. Again, 84 eastbound, some tight traffic, 10 to 11 in Newtown. 95 South New Haven, tight 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Traffic is sponsored by Indeed. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates, all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
WTIC weather.
A beautiful start to the new week this afternoon with sunny.
Joey, when you get a chance.
A high of 76.
Yep.
Britney Spears Toxic.
Okay.
Have some clearing.
You can start it from the beginning when I call on it.
For Tuesday, sunny and nice, the high of 77. A nice breeze out of the northwest. Wednesday, it'll be a touch warmer, partly sunny. Another gorgeous day to be outside with the high of 79. And mostly sunny Thursday, the high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC.
Okay, this one's got to be the best one. Michael A. says, I remember one of the headlines on the Weekly World News saying JFK back from the dead with a great new diet plan. Nice.
When you're you.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's 5 o'clock, Hartford temperature 75 degrees.
Damn it.
Good afternoon. I'm John Silva.
Darth Vader is dead.
WTIC 1080. Jones, who overcame racial prejudice and a severe stutter to become a celebrated icon of stage and screen, has died. His agent says Jones died this morning at home. He was a pioneering actor who eventually led his deep commanding voice to CNN, The Lion King, and Darth Vader. Working deep into his 80s, he won 2 Emmys, a Golden Globe, 2 Tonys, a Grammy, the National Medal of Arts, the Kennedy Center Honors, and was given an honorary Oscar and a special Tony for Lifetime Achievement. In 2022, a Broadway theater was renamed in his honor. James Earl Jones was 93. A teacher and a student at Middletown High School are among 4 people who were killed in a small plane crash Sunday afternoon in Vermont, all from Connecticut. That according to the Vermont State Police, as we hear from WTIC's Dave Mager.
The group had brunch at Basin Harbor Club on Lake Champlain, then took off for home in Connecticut. There was no distress signal. It was only after relatives reported they never arrived home the single-engine Piper aircraft was found after midnight in the woods not far from the airstrip. Middletown police say Paul Pelletier was killed, the aviation teacher at Middletown High School, along with his student, 15-year-old Delilah Van Ness. Also killed were 51-year-old Susan Van Ness and Frank Rodriguez, who was 88. It's unknown why the plane went down. The NTSB will investigate. Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Students facing charges after police say he made threats against Edison Middle School in Meriden over the weekend. Police received word of the threat that was circulating on Snapchat. Extra security in the form of police was in place for the school day today. This student says the shooting last week at a Georgia high school and ensuing threats.
I love it.
Like, to hearing about kids dying, not thinking much about it, and
Someone has to make a T-shirt of that on it.
it's kind of scary to
What
hear.
is thy
Audio
bidding,
from
my
WFSB.
master?
Disgraced movie mogul Harvey
There is a
Weinstein.
great disturbance in the force.
Says the 72-year-old was rushed to a hospital.
The Sandlot, too.
And after an examination, doctors decided to perform some.
That's
type of
right.
procedure
Yeah.
on
Darn, I
Weinstein
totally forgot about that.
This week, where prosecutors have been presenting new evidence as they try to get a new indictment against him on sex crimes charges. In
Bat
April,
child
Weinstein's
found
New York
in
rape and
cave.
sexual assault convictions were overturned, and a judge ordered.
Goes on game show. Has herpes.
California continue to battle the line fire in San Bernardino County. It has consumed 20,000 acres, and thousands have had to evacuate, like this man.
I had no place else really to go. It's been all new experience for me.
Correspondent Ben Tracy says in Big Bear, California, it's a tough fire to fight.
They do feel like they're turning a bit of a corner, being able to fight this both from the air and from the ground. But obviously, we're also contending with heat. It's going to be about 100 degrees here today. That makes this firefight all the more grueling.
Over the next few weeks, Connecticut residents will likely notice an abundance of acorns on the ground from red oak trees. Researchers at the Connecticut Agricultural Experiment Station in New Haven say it's a good thing on 2 fronts. It means the trees are healthy. It also means a generous food source for animals and birds. Joseph Barsky is lead forest researcher for the study.
They're a foundational component of our ecosystems throughout the eastern United States, and they are a species that we're seeing some challenges in perpetuating the forest. And so that's one reason why they are important to document whether we're having a good acorn crop or not.
He says white oaks didn't produce as many acorns. On the flip side, Barsky says the abundance can lead to a higher rodent population, which serve as hosts for human pathogens, including the bacteria that causes Lyme disease. Wall Street, the Dow finished up 484 points today. The Nasdaq gained 193, and the S&P was up 62. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moment.
30 seconds.
To annual girl trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right. We are back. It's News Talk 1080 WTIC, as the big voice just said. And I promise you, in the next half hour, we are going to pay our respects to that great man who passed away this morning, none other than James Earl Jones. I promise you, we will show him love. I promise you, we will. A huge, huge part of my life growing up. I love James Earl Jones. We'll get into that as well. But in the 5 o'clock focus, I need to ask this question, okay? My wife brought it up because my wife cannot stand the song that Joey's about to play. Don't play it yet, Joey. I cannot stand this song that I'm about to play. But I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big fan of this particular artist either. But when this song comes on, I lose my collective mind. Like, I lose all sense of people around me. Go ahead, Joey. Play the beginning. You all know it. That's none other than Britney Spears. Respect her name.
Can't you say?
That's Toxic. Now, without a doubt, probably one of the hottest records she ever made. But when that song comes on, I lose it. But no one's around. I never let anybody see me dance to this record. You may see me now on ReseOnTheRadio.com, but I never let anybody see it. So my wife came up with this idea. She says, we should ask the question, what song that you know your friends would ridicule you about that you jam out to by yourself when no one else is looking? A song that anyone would laugh at you about. I don't care if it's Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. What song? You know you can't play it amongst your friends, be it guys or girls. You can't play it. But when it's on, quietly, you know, when you're jazzercising, you play that record. You can't. And I want to hear from everybody, from Joey to even none other than Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center, who is about to come on in a second. Is Mark there? Hey, Mark, what is one of those jams that you know that your friends would lose it if they found out that you jammed too quietly? Come on. There's got to be one that nobody, like maybe, I'll tell another one. Billy Idol's Dancing with Myself. I actually lose control on that song.
Great song.
Yeah.
You know what? I saw a Prince cover band last week, and when they played "I Will Die for You," I actually got up and danced.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a great record.
Got a little crazy.
Yeah, that's a great record to jam to. Joey, you got one yet? No, he's probably on the phone.
I got two. I don't know. I got a lot of them.
All right, let's get into the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher, and then we'll get yours on the other end. Thanks, Mark. Mark, you still there?
All right, Reese, thank you very much.
You're clear.
To you, good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into Hartford right now, overall, we're in pretty good shape. Let's start off on the southbound side of I-91. A little slow down by exit 32A and B, and again down by exit 28 on the Hartford Weather Shield line. Northbound 91 moving very well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge up to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound a little slow. 46 Sisson Avenue to the Bulkley Bridge. 291 384 looking good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay. Glastonbury into Marlboro. Now we're still dealing with a crash, and this is 9 southbound just south of exit 27 in Cromwell. Only the right shoulder getting by. Delays are back to 29 and the I-91 interchange behind that. If you're heading toward Waterbury, no problems there. 84 and 8, 84 eastbound, just a little slow between 10 and 11 in Newtown. South 95 New Haven tight 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
All right, it'll get mostly cloudy for a short time this evening. Then we'll have some clearing skies overnight. The low dropping down to 56. A gorgeous rest of the week. Sunshine for Tuesday, the high 78. Partly sunny on Wednesday, the high 79. Mostly sunny Thursday, the high up to 84. Rinse and repeat for Friday with another beautiful day. Sunny to partly cloudy, the high right back at 84. And the weekend looking great too. Mostly sunny Saturday, 84 again. And Sunday, abundant sunshine, a touch warmer, the high up to 85. Right now, Mansfield 72, New London 72 at 75 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Before you tour a home, the real estate professional you're working with may ask you to sign a buyer's agreement, which describes the services you'll receive, each party's role and responsibilities, and how your agent will be compensated, all of which you'll want to discuss with them up front. So work with an agent who's a Realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors with a duty to honestly represent you and put your interests above their own, because that's who we are.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent tax.
A trick question.
Initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
Don't just live with foot pain. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com.
It's the 5 o'clock focus. It's the 5 o'clock focus. Come on, man. Focus already.
I have to go and dry Reese. I don't. There's too many to pick from.
Come on, you can't think of one? Like one that you jam out to, nobody else is around. You have that many songs that you would jam out to? Okay. All right.
This is high up on that list.
Really high up on it. Like we're talking about if it comes on and you're like in the house, you will be jamming out to this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Like we're talking dancing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, this works. This is actually a song that everybody, but your friends would flip on you if you like, would they rip on you if you were dancing to this?
See, that's the problem. Everyone knows me. They're just like, yeah, whatever.
He can't embarrass himself.
No. So we got that one.
Uh-huh.
And then, I mean, I feel this would be on like everyone's list though.
Okay. Yeah, you know what?
That's why I was like, I'm hesitant, but it's on everyone's list, I feel.
It is. I know people will belt this song out. As far as a ballad is concerned, I've seen so many people lose it. In fact, I used to go to a 70s nightclub in New York, And there were two songs that everybody would lose it. And I have to admit, this is one of the songs that would always make me go nuts.
Yeah.
And it was from Grease. It is what is the God? Why can't I remember the Grease song? I think it's the one that
there's
Grease Lightning. No, but there's a one between Sandy and John Travolta's character at the end of the movie where they're singing back and forth. I can't remember what the name of the song is now, but when they used to play that, everybody used to go nuts. But I will have to admit, now here's probably the most embarrassing one out of all of them. I lose it every time. I don't know why, but if you catch me, I think my ex-wife has this on film. I'm certain she does in a road trip. I can see Paradise by the dashboard light. I lose it every time.
Little Meatloaf?
Yeah, I love Meatloaf, man. I love that song too. It's one of those songs where you hear that, and I will play the entire rock opera out until the end of it. And that song is long. It is not a short song, but I will go through the entire extent of that song in a heartbeat. I love that song. Love that song beyond a shadow of a doubt. Lori says that Bad Reputation by Joan Jett. I dare you not to jam out on it. I couldn't agree more. That one and what's the other one? Is it Joan Jett? Who's the one that sings? What's the theme song to Legend of Billie Jean? Please tell me you've seen this movie.
Yeah. The other one I was thinking, this would probably be a generational thing.
What's that?
Because the movie.
I'm so done with this song.
From Wayne's World.
Yeah, with Wayne's World, yeah.
Yep.
Listen, I got to be honest with you. I've done this before, and I do this with my young one, with Ellis. Pat Benatar. Thank you, Lori. I've done this with the boy. We call it songs that are banned from the bar. Right? And the reason why they're banned is because they're songs that you will hear at the bar every time that you go to the bar. So one of them is Stairway to Heaven. Can't play it at the bar.
No.
Bob Seger, nothing. You can play Night Moves, but you can't play Mustang Sally. You can't play that. Is that Bob Seger?
No.
Who's Mustang Sally?
You're thinking Rock and Roll with Bob Seger.
Okay, yeah. I can't play that. They don't play enough Huey Lewis in the News at the bar. I wish they'd work on that because it's actually a good group. But you can't. Wilson Pickett. No, can't play him. AC/DC. I don't care what the song is. Banned at the bar. It's overdone. Everybody plays AC/DC at the jukebox. You can't. Turn the Page by Seeger. Thank you, Rama. That one you can't play. Okay, Freedom. The 90s, Freedom 90 by George Michael. Okay, that's an embarrassing one. I would not be caught jamming to that one. Freedom by George Michael, that was when, he really got dark. And with all the supermodels, I'm not feeling that one. Jefferson Marlboro, let's go to Jeff. Jeff, you're on Reese on the Radio. What's your jam out song that nobody can see you jam out to?
Hey, Reese, I got one for you. So, growing up, I was very lucky to have MTV when I was a kid. It was like very new. My parents had like cable. We got like 2 channels, like HBO and MTV. And like,
you got lucky.
HBO. Yeah. Okay.
Did you have Wametka Home Theater, by the way? WHT?
I don't remember, man. I was like 5 years old. But like we lived in this wicked rural town in Pennsylvania. We had like 2 cable channels, and the rest was like broadcast. But we had MTV, and I used to watch Michael Jackson Beat It.
Yes.
All the time.
Oh, so that was your favorite? Okay, and only when the music video's playing, right? That was the one you would jam out to.
Oh yeah, and like it's got the most rippingest solo in it by Mr. Eddie Van Halen.
None other than uncredited, by the way, Eddie Van Halen. In that song.
When that solo rips in, that song's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, Lori says we need to ban Love Shack by the B-52s. If my wife heard you say that, Lori, it's a fight. If that song comes on the radio, I have to be quiet. She loves that song. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, sir. Let's go to Juan in East Hartford. How you doing, Juan?
I am doing very well. I got 3 songs. Oye Como Va.
Okay.
Black Magic Women.
Okay.
Black Magic Women, and the other one is Crazy Thing About Love.
Oh, Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
Thing About Love.
Oh, Crazy Little Thing Called Love. I'll admit, one of the Queen songs they need to play more of at the bar. No more Bohemian Rhapsody, but that's one of my favorite songs by Queen is Crazy Little Thing Called Love and Bicycle. I like that song too. Those are two of my favorites.
There's nothing, my son, my 12-year-old son, the other day we were driving, I forgot where, but we were on a long ride, and we got talking about music. And he said, Mom, Dad, I like a lot of the older music you guys listen to because the words mean something.
Yeah.
They're talking about a story. There's a story behind the song. Might be twisted, but there's a story.
That's right. It might be
all about doing crazy things to women.
You're so right.
They don't make any sense.
Yeah, you're right, though. You know what? It is twisted, but you know what? That's what makes the song so intriguing is that you talk about your friends. They say, hey, do you know what this song's about? It made this. It gave the song life beyond just the song and the singing along with it. That's the most important part to any music. I totally agree there.
A lot of the 60s and 70s was psychedelic music.
That's exactly
about getting high.
That's exactly what the
Chasing that high.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Juan. Let's go to Mike in Plainville. How we doing, Mike?
Great. Good to hear you again. I don't think there's a song that I'll dance to anything in front of anybody. I don't care.
So, okay, but what would be like, what's an obscure song that you know that a lot of people don't dance to that you kind of find as your favorite?
I'm going to have to say right now, I don't have a lot of time to think, but I would say Born to Be Alive by Patrick Hernandez.
Oh, my goodness. That's a great song.
That's a great song, and I used to go nuts on the dance floor dancing to that.
That is a really good song. A lot of people don't, you know what? And a lot of people don't know. See if we can find that song real quick, Joey. That is a great song, Mike. Thank you so much for that.
That's in my top 20, no doubt, and I'm almost 70.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a great song. In fact, you know what? I'm definitely throwing that on the Spotify today. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Let's get to Terry. Terry's in Texas. What's up, commentary?
It's just a two-part. The one that I jam out to the song, it's called What a Man Gotta Do by Nick Jonas. And I'm partial to the Jonas Brothers for some reason.
You are?
I don't think any...
So am I.
Yeah. I like it. So What a Man Gotta Do. See, hey, great minds think alike.
It's so true. The Jonas Brothers are actually really, really good artists. It's weird. I don't know why I like them.
And I dig them, man. I don't know. I'm like, whatever, man. I'll jam it. My wife does, and now whoever's listening. But and then the weird thing is when I work out, I don't listen to hardcore hip hop or rock and roll or all. I listen to 80s music, and the cheesier the song, the harder I go. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. The cheesiest in your headphones that no one else can see, but you can't sing along. You can't sing along.
And it's weird, too. I was born in 81, so I missed most of that music, and that's my stuff now. Because, it's just good music.
It is. Absolutely.
Sort of.
Thank you, Terry. I appreciate you. I saw the most amazing thing ever. Talk about somebody doing something completely embarrassing. I remember I'm in New York City, Washington Square Park. It's in the summer. It's got to be 1996. It's got to be later than that, 1997, 98. And this guy is walking through Washington Square Park. He's wearing a pair of red shorts, a pair of red cowboy boots, and a halter top. He was probably like the most flamboyant person. He had a little purse, and he was walking through there, and he was strutting through Washington Square Park, going somewhere with headphones in his ears, singing, and I quote, "I'm Every Woman," the Whitney Houston version. And everyone in the park stopped and watched him sashay through the park as he screamed, "I'm Every Woman." He sang it with pride. He didn't care who was watching. Zappa Creek says no more Credence at the bar. Agreed. Rama says Bicycle is the worst. I'll take Princess of the Universe. I'll admit, Princess of the Universe is a good song too. At least it reminds me of Highlander. Let's get to Craig in the car. How we doing, Craig? Great.
Well, Reese, I've been back from my guys' week vacation for about 10 minutes, so all my synapses are not firing yet. But
okay.
I've heard about 3 minutes of this, and it's about music. So what's the topic?
The topic is, what is the song that is so, like, if your friends heard you jamming, like you would only play it by yourself because your friends would give you hell if they knew it was one of your favorite songs to dance to?
Well, I've never danced in my life. I'm a big Dean Martin.
You're the guy.
I like to listen to Dean Martin.
Okay, so you wouldn't dance to. Okay, I can understand. You're probably not going to be dancing to Mambo Italiano.
Dude, I didn't dance at my wedding.
No way.
That's not happening.
No way. Not even really. Craig, tougher men. Tougher men have danced at their wedding, my friend. Come on.
No.
My goodness.
It's not that I'm insecure, my friend. It's
Oh, no, I don't think that. No. I mean, how do you not give the first dance to you? You didn't dance at your wedding. You were tougher than most. Okay, so if you had to pick a song.
We had the first dance. I'll give you that.
Okay.
But
that was it.
That was rocking back and forth like your junior prom.
I can, you know what? In my head, I can envision that. You just going back and forth with your wife on the screen. Oh, goodness gracious. That's like he doesn't move. He hasn't moved since 78, dear.
I have more music chops, but dance music, no.
Goodness gracious. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate it. Let's go Chris in Berlin real quick. Chris, what's the song that if your boys caught you listening to it would give you hell for a year?
Start Me Up by the Stones.
Oh, that's not even a horrible song. That's a great song. How about
Honky Tonk Women? I mean, all the fast songs by the Stones are good to dance to. The beat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, forget about it. Anything as far as the Stones, I'm not even. I'm not. But you just. Every time I even hear a Stones song, if I were dancing by myself and no one was around, I would be pretending to be Mick Jagger, just for the hell. How do you not? It's almost like it's required as you're listening to a Rolling Stone song. You must pretend to be Mick Jagger. It's like it's a prerequisite. Like that's the thing. Yeah. That's the move you do because that's the only one that goes to the music. It's such a good point. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. Let me see if I can get one more. Let's go to Mike in Newington. Hello, Mike.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
What's going on? Okay, what's the song?
I'm not calling about the topic, but I am calling about something you talked about a few minutes ago.
Go for it.
I can't believe that you didn't know who did Mustang Sally and you thought it was Bob Seger.
I always thought it was him.
It's Wilson Pickett.
Oh, is that Wilson Pickett? He sounds like...
One other reason I want to call you is the best, hands down, Bob Seger song. And I'm not a giant Bob Seger fan.
Okay.
But when you get a chance, listen to the song called Come to Papa.
Okay.
And I guarantee you're going to say to me, my God, how did I never know this song? You play that song for a woman? Unbelievable. I was in a bar in Rhode Island a couple years ago, and there's this older band there. They're called the Senders. They're well known at a Rhode Island beachfront bar called Ocean Mist. And these guys are all like old biker dudes.
Right.
All right? They're old 50-year-old guys. And they played that song, and I thought the women in the bar were all going to take the tops off.
Okay, now I've got to hear it. Not because they were going to take their tops off, but if it's a good song, why not? I'll try it. I'll check it out.
Brother.
You got it. Thanks, sir. All right, Matt in Bristol, my good friend. Hold on, sir. We're going to go to the BPS Traffic Center with our good friend Mark Christopher in a minute, and then we'll come back with Matt in Bristol, and we'll also finish off the show by showing our respects to the legend, the man, the mystery of James Earl Jones. Let's get to Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
This is CNN, most trusted name in news.
That guy had a stuttering problem.
I know, right?
Just one of the great set of pipes of all time.
Exactly.
And he was a stutterer. Hard to believe, but life well lived. Everybody knew James Earl. Just you hear the voice, you saw the face, you knew who he was.
Exactly.
Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now,
You're clear.
91 some
Thank you,
delays,
sir.
33 to 32. A and B northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge up to 47 Sigourney Street. Looks like we have an accident right shoulder between 48 and 47. 84 eastbound tight approaching 46 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 through 84 okay east of the river. 2 eastbound moving well Glastonbury into Marlboro. If you're heading into Middletown 9 southbound, you've got some slow traffic. Cromwell Middletown line down to the Aragoni Bridge. Waterbury's okay 84 and 8. 84 eastbound slightly slow in Newtown from exit 10 up to exit 11 on the eastbound side of 84. 95 South New Haven slows 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Sunny to partly cloudy this afternoon. A beautiful start to the week. The high of 76. A great stretch of weather coming up as well. Tonight, it'll briefly become mostly cloudy this evening. Then we'll have some clearing skies. The low down to 57. Sunny and nice for Tuesday. The high of 77. A nice breeze out of the northwest. Wednesday, partly sunny. Another gorgeous day to be outdoors. The high of 79. And mostly sunny Thursday. The high of 82. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Bash, a spine surgeon here at Middlesex Health Center for Spine Surgery. Let one of our top spine specialists help you find the treatment that's right for you, so you can get back to doing what you love faster. Learn more at middlesexhealth.org/spine.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Governor Lamont has submitted a formal request to President Biden for a disaster declaration following the historic flooding in southwestern Connecticut last month. FEMA and the Small Business Administration toured areas devastated by the August 18th flood, which battered Fairfield, New Haven, and Litchfield counties. FEMA says 19 homes were destroyed and 170 sustained major damage. Actor James Earl Jones has died.
Right at your door is innocent as children, longing for the past.
The star of stage, screen, and TV was 93. Jones lent his voice to Darth Vader in the Star Wars movies, also starred in Coming to America with Eddie Murphy and Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. James Earl Jones was 93. Police in, people from Connecticut, I should say, were killed when their plane went down in Vermont. 4 were returning to the state after having brunch in Vermont. They took off from Wyndham Airport. No reports were received indicating an aircraft in distress or one that had crashed. 2 of the victims were from Middletown. Schools there are closed on Tuesday. The other 2 victims were from Columbia and Lebanon, respectively. In Suffield, a high school student was killed over the weekend when the dirt bike he was riding collided with a car. Head-on crash occurred at Copper Hill and Woods Hollow Roads around 5:30 yesterday. The victim was a freshman at Suffield High School. Extra police on scene at Edison Middle School today after officers say a threat was made on Snapchat. The post indicated threats against Edison students. The suspect is now being charged with threatening. Wall Street, the Dow finished up 484 points today. The NASDAQ gained 193 and the S&P was up 60.
Oh, let's play, sorry,
Red
I'm
Sox
shouting.
And Orioles at Fenway
Let's
tonight,
play, the
6:10
Vader
pregame
theme.
after the news. Yanks begin a series in Case.
Oh, okay.
Royals, NFL Monday Night Football. The Jets open the season in San Fran against the Niners. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hey, it's Tom Shattuck. Mike, who lost 40 pounds with a Awaken 180, was in the same position I was in. You're most likely in. Confused.
I spent so much money on personal trainers in the last 10 years. Didn't have a lot of discretionary income left. So I tried to listen to everybody else. What do you eat? You know, everyone said, eat healthy. Define eating healthy. Cut out sugar. Tell me what foods don't have sugar. So their process to me was an education. That was really the eye-opening thing to me is I had 10 choices of food in front of me every day. You know, when I was on the run in sales, I was making 8 bad choices.
David, I love Boogie Wonderland. That's one of my favorite songs. Which you always think of Rodney Dangerfield and Caddyshack. I would have never made the connection.
True education on food, what to eat, what not to eat, and it's.
Have you watched the new Axel Foley movie on Netflix?
Ability
I'm
to
not a
navigate
fan.
nutrition
I wasn't happy with it.
Proven clear path.
I got like halfway through it on the of light. and I got to finish it.
And do what we did.
I was like,
Awaken180weightloss.com.
I was so let down.
A secret
I would have wanted
$10
this to
gold
be
Indian coins have been
the
found.
third
These gorgeous 1932
movie
gold coins are as
instead of the fourth.
is the day they were struck, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1932 dated gold coin featuring Lady Liberty with an Indian war headdress and a majestic eagle. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1932 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated
I'll tell you
condition
what's the
with
worst
brilliant
thing
luster
about
that is 92
Axel
years of history
Foley
you can hold in your
in
hand.
that
To
movie.
learn more, call
The entire time I'm watching it,
1-800-520-6468.
whenever they
Call
played
now and you'll receive a free
Axel
bonus
F
over a
by
$55
Harold
value
Faltmeyer,
free with
all I
every
could
order.
think
Call
of Peter Griffin. All I could think of was Peter Griffin doing.
now to secure your 1932 $10 gold.
That's all I could think of. That's all I could do.
Don't wait. You must act
I
fast.
laugh every
Call
time I do
now.
it.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC. News Talk 1080.
Woo! If not for Running Down a Dream by Tom Petty, this would be my theme music. I lived for this soundtrack. We got to celebrate James Earl Jones, but before we do, I promised Matt in Bristol would come on the line. Hello, Matt. What's going on, sir?
Hello, Mr. Hopkins. How are you doing?
I'm great. You did. By the way, anyone who listens to Matt in Bristol's voice, I want you to think of the guy who plays Death on Family Guy, Adam Carolla. He sounds exactly like him. What's going on, Matt?
I knew I hated my voice. I knew I hated my voice for a reason.
You sound just like him.
Yeah, I do like Adam Carolla. But first of all, I'm so sad about James Earl Jones.
Me too.
I love that dude. He was awesome, man. He was great. And my 5 o'clock focus.
Yes.
Don't tell anyone, but the one song I jam out to, I don't want you to tell anyone about this.
Okay,
but,
I'll keep it between us.
It's just between me and you. Yeah, Four Non-Blondes, What's Up? I love that song.
No way!
Oh my God, dude! I scream it out at the top of my lungs. I freaking love that song.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time we go out, we'll go to like a Bath and Body Works. They'll be playing it inside the place, and my wife will start singing. And then the most embarrassing thing happens: her son starts singing it with her, and I go, "Do you know it's a girl group singing?" Yes, it is one of those infectious songs that people sing whenever it's on. It drives me nuts. I hate Four Non-Blondes. Oh, I hate it. I'm just not a fan.
I love that. Like, it was only one album, but
yeah,
I thought it was.
Yeah,
really
a lot of
well
people
done.
do. They were a great group. But see, I'm a Bengals fan, and I love the Bengals. Although I hate Walk Like an Egyptian. Don't get me wrong. That song is garbage. But I love the Bengals. And my favorite song.
I thought you were talking about football.
No, the Bengals. No, the Bengals, the girl group. My favorite song by the Bengals, try this one on for size, is not Walking Down Your Street, because I know a lot of people think that would be my favorite. No, it's Hazy Shade of Winter from the Less Than Zero soundtrack. That is a great record. You got to hear that one. That's a song. But I cannot believe Four Non-Blondes was the song that you were belting out.
Oh, belting. And the one song I can't stand is One Bourbon, One Scotch, and One Beer.
Oh, I had to play his entire collection at a wedding. I'm not kidding. The father of the groom made me play every song by him. And that was the first song I had to play, and then he asked for the entire catalog. We spent hours. It was the worst part. I didn't even have to do it. I just said just play the album, and it did. It was an awful experience. One bourbon, one shot, one beer. Oh, and by the way, 4 months earlier, I had just quit drinking.
Well, I feel for you on both fronts. So
That's how bad that was. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. We'll get back to Bob in Torrington. I'll let you chime in a minute, but we got to get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. One bourbon, one shot, one beer. I'll never.
Right?
What's that? George Thorogood. I had to play his entire catalog at a wedding.
Wow.
Yeah, because the father of the groom who was paying for it demanded
Oh,
it.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Sometimes these playlists don't put you in the best of light. That's for sure.
No, it doesn't.
That's for sure. Here you go, Reed.
Hey.
The song you were thinking about?
Yes, it was. That's the one. You're the one that I want. I couldn't think of it, but you were right on point.
You jamming to this, Reed.
Listen to me. If you listen to me in Manhattan, if you wanted to go home with a date, you had to dance to this song at that 70s club, without a doubt.
This is my favorite song of the Roaring 20s so far. Right?
Yeah,
Right? The Roaring 20s. This is my favorite song of the Roaring 20s so far.
What's that one? All of these songs are horrible. It's auto-tuned to death. I don't know who these people are. How do you even know what they're saying? I'm out.
Post Malone and Doja Cat.
Oh, I like her. She's cute. Nope, not me. Sorry.
No, not your song.
Too old. I'm
That's
too
my
old.
Song. No, I'm older than you, and I like that song. What's going on here?
I have taste? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you do. You do have taste. That's what it is.
I'm
That's exactly
teasing.
what it is. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now,
You're clear.
one delays 33 down to 32 A and B. In Hartford, northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Winter. Westbound 84 is tied up. Approaching the Bulkley Bridge, we have an accident between 48 and 47 right shoulder. A little slow down there. 84 eastbound, slowing 48 Capitol Avenue.
Lori says the entire Grease soundtrack needs to be banned.
Good east of the river. To Marlboro.
I agree with that
A little slow
totally.
at the Oregon Bridge of Middletown. Quiet Waterbury. 84 eastbound Newtown slowing between 9 and 10. Again, a little tight. 84 eastbound by exit 11. South
Kevin
95
L.
in
Very
Manhattan, slowing
true.
46 to 44.
Big Bang and
look out for an accident in
James Earl
91
Jones.
northbound
That
now
was a great,
between
great
8
episode. That was like
and
a
91 northbound moving
Shatner
from
coming
New
to
Haven toward North Haven.
to Saturday Night
Traffic
Live
related
to
together
all
on
of
the 8th WTIC
all of
News
the
Talk
Star Trek
1080.
geeks.
WTIC weather.
It's been a pretty great day as we head through the evening. We'll get some clouds rolling through. Then it'll clear out again as we head through the overnight. Very comfortable night ahead for us. The lows down into the middle 50s. Looking at 56 for an overnight low. Then a beautiful stretch of weather all the way into and through the weekend. We'll have plenty of sunshine around. On our Tuesday, the high 78. Partly sunny Wednesday, the high 79. Then it's sunny both Thursday and Friday, Saturday and Sunday for that fact. The high of 84 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday. It warms up to 85. So a great late summer stretch of weather coming up for us. Bristol 73, Waterbury at 70 right now, and it's 75 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
It's time to clear the shelters. Since we started 10 years ago, NBC, Telemundo, and you have helped over 1 million pets find their forever families. Let's make our 10th year the biggest yet. Are you ready to find your new best friend? If you want to help but can't adopt, your donations can go a long way. Adopt or donate today. For more information, head to nbcconnecticut.com/cleartheshelters. Brought to you in part by WTIC News Talk 1080.
Men, though it really does go without saying, practicing better medicine almost always means better outcomes for patients. And if you suffer with erectile dysfunction, you certainly want a good outcome. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And because we do practice better medicine, we're the leader in treating men's sexual health issues in the Northeast. ED is a terrible condition. It causes stresses in relationships. It creates anxiety and undue hardships on a man and often on their partner as well. Yet many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But I want to tell you today that you can be free of ED. Seriously, if you're like most men, the treatments we offer at Northeast Men's Health will work for you. In fact, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means you can likely enjoy great sex again without the stress that ED can create. You might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956.
Think about this commercial.
Say again?
Think about this commercial. I don't know if you're listening.
Oh.
If the test dose doesn't work in the office, how are they finding that out?
They're an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/gutter to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/gutter. That's leaffilter.com/gutter.
Now, your ideas don't have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to now.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, I think I have one, Reese, that might lower your standards of me.
Okay, go for it.
I'm not a country guy at all.
Okay.
But this goes back to when I did listen to country, Alan Jackson.
Okay.
Little bitty house and a little bitty yard, a little bitty dog and a little bitty
Now, how exactly would you dance to this? So you'd just be belting it out, probably just sashaying back and forth then.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I'm not going to lie. You know what? It's funny because Matt in Bristol said he would sing, Four Non-Blondes, What's Going On. I'll admit, I said this earlier. I said when I saw Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers singing Islands in the Stream as a kid, I wanted them to get married. I'm like, they're not married? And I still sing that song every time I hear it. I can't stop singing it. I'm addicted to it. So I totally get it.
The other one might have been this.
Oh, okay. This is infectious. I will never not dance to this record. I will never not dance to this record. In fact, the DJ from this was DJed one of my birthday parties. Dimitri. I love that song. Absolutely. And Bootsy Collins brought me on stage during a 311 performance. Bootsy Collins, who's in that, you remember, he's the one who says, "You can dig it, baby." He brought me on stage at the Amsterfest to hang out with the group 311 as they performed one of my favorite songs, Amber. I'll never love Bootsy. We'll go to Bob in Torrington real quick, but I want to play this real quick.
What is thy bidding, my master?
There is a great disturbance in the force.
I have felt it.
We have a new enemy.
Yes, my master.
He could destroy us. The force is strong with him.
If he could be turned, he would become a powerful ally.
Yes. Yes. He would be a great asset. Can it be done?
He will join us or die, master.
None other than James Earl Jones, a pillar, a larger-than-life voice. And again, AFI's number 3 villain of all time, of any movie character. Hannibal Lecter's number 1. Number 2 is Norman Bates, of course, from the movie Psycho. And Darth Vader, number 3. And they particularly said from The Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader, the most evil villain in the top 3. And James Earl Jones has been there for years. Now, let's go to the phones. I meant to get to this call earlier, but I had to play that before we get out of here. Bob is in Torrington. How you doing, Bob?
Well, thank you very much for the accolades. I appreciate it very much.
No problem, sir. How are you?
Let me tell you the best song that's out there. If you want to get a bunch of people up there dancing, and I'm a senior, and I've been doing it for 20 years, is Tone Loc. Wild Thing.
So that's the song that you go wild for. I'm not gonna lie, it's a great song.
I'm telling you what, I've been listening to that for a long time. Every time I go to a wedding or something like that, I always go up there and say, "Hey, do you guys have Tone Loc Wild Thing?" "Well, yeah, we do." You should see the people that get up there and start dancing from that.
I believe it.
It's absolutely amazing.
What's interesting? Do you know that song actually saved a record for Van Halen?
No, I was not aware of that.
Okay, interesting story. I'll tell you real quick. So the guitar riff in Tone Loc's Wild Thing is from a popular song now by Van Halen called Janie's Crying. And the song wasn't That's right. Janie's Crying was not a hit for Van Halen.
My daughter's name is Jane, so I know that song.
So it was actually sampled in Tone Loc's Wild Thing. And then after, I guess they sued them. I think they paid off like $100,000 for using the sample unauthorized. And Janie's Crying only becomes a hit after the fact. So it was a bomb that became a popular song after Wild Thing came out. So in essence, it actually gave life to the song.
Okay, wow, I was not aware of that.
Yeah, I just saw something the other day online. I was just like, what? This guy is called Professor of Rock on YouTube, and I watch his videos sometimes because it's nice to get, as somebody called it earlier, I think it was Juan who said earlier, the greatest part about rock music back in the day is that they all have a story. And I love this guy, Professor.
I have to do some research on that because I don't, that just sounds funny.
Yeah, well, you mean Janie's Crying or the Tone Loc thing?
No, but the connection between the two.
Oh, no, it was just a sample that they used for a song. And, Janie's Crying wasn't a popular song by Van Halen, but it became popular after Tone Loc, sampled it.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole story about it. I thought it was amazing.
Well, I'm telling you what, right now, anytime that song comes on, and I'm a senior right now, and 20 years ago when that came out there, every time we have a wedding, I always go up there and says, can you play that? And you would be amazed the amount of people that come out there. And even if it plays right now, I probably standing here in my basement getting my groove on.
I believe you. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Reese.
You got it, sir. Yeah. And I don't think the song is credited. But yeah, I watched this thing. It's called Professor of Rock on YouTube, and sometimes he'll talk to some of the artists that are on there that he's sort of, I guess, the subject of. And this one I just watched recently, and I went, and I knew the song, and he said it's an old Van Halen song that became a rap song that nobody knew about, and I just went, what? And I immediately, when he played the Tone Loc one, I went, no way. And then I started listening, and I went, no kidding, it's exactly the same song. It totally is. But yeah, James Earl Jones. Let me get into this. I want to say this about James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones and why am I forgetting his name now? And I've been trying to remember his name for the longest, but he was in, he's a Latin actor. Joey, help me out. He was in the Addams Family reboots with Angelica Houston. He passed away. He died from complications of cancer. And his name, Raul Julia. That's his name. Raul Julia. I got it before you got in there, Rama. Raul Julia. Loved him as an actor. Well, Raul Julia did a lot of great work. And, of course, he did, some campy stuff. Addams Family, the aforementioned. But so did James Earl Jones. And one of the greatest ones, somebody mentioned in the chat room, was how much they loved him in Coming to America. And boy, he was one of my favorite characters in that movie. My favorite line by James Earl Jones is when he finds out that Akeem is working at McDonald's and he sees the Employee of the Month picture on the wall and he goes, what is that? And he goes, that's a picture of him at his job. He goes, my son works? I'll never forget that. It's a stupid little line in a movie, but it's so indicative of somebody so wealthy that they don't have to work. And his response, my son works? And how James Earl Jones conveyed his disgust at the idea that his son would work. Shows you exactly how one little line by James Earl Jones could be delivered with an Oscar performance. I just loved that scene in that movie. And then, of course, Raul Julia famously does the movie before he passes away called Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme, which I thought, you probably don't want that to be the last film that you do. And he did. And then James Earl Jones does Coming to America, the sequel, which was an absolute, it was a piece of trash. Talk about garbage. It was absolute garbage. I hate the fact that that's the last film he did. Let's get back to the phones. Patrick is in Middletown. I have to correct myself. Oh, do we still got him? Nope, we lost him. Let's go to Robert in Cheshire. Hello, Robert. You're on with Reese on the Radio.
James Earl Jones, absolutely phenomenal voice. We lived in Japan in the early 90s.
Uh-huh.
CNN was still a credible news source,
Sure.
and that's where we heard the announcement, this is CNN. He
Yeah.
was fabulous.
He was.
Most people I haven't heard anybody talk about it, but he also was an admiral in the Hunt for Red October. And I thought he did a credible job in that role in the movie.
He was, that's right, the Admiral in Hunt for Red October. Damn, wow. Why do people forget that one? Probably because Sean Connery kind of steals that movie.
Well, that's right. He was overshadowed by that, no
Yeah.
question. But that's great. Keep up the good work, Reese. We'll talk to you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. He's James Earl Jones is just, Field, they mention him if you read all of the reports. It's like, famously from Field of Dreams as well. But James Earl Jones had just a level of, but I'll tell you this. There's one movie you have to go see, and it's just, I tell people to watch this movie if they want to understand the welfare system back in the day. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie. You may not have, but if you can find it on streaming, go find it. It is James Earl Jones, almost unrecognizable. And it's a movie called Claudine. And folks, for 20 years, I talked about this movie because it captures what I try to tell a lot of people in the inner city about the welfare system. This movie, again, is about a guy who's a garbage man, James Earl Jones, who falls for this woman, Claudine, and she's got, these kids in the house, and he, of course, becomes their stepfather. And because of his, wealth, I guess you could say, because he's a garbage man, he gets paid well. He wants his girlfriend and her children to live a better life. So, of course, he piles them with gifts and things and, televisions and things like that. But she's on welfare. And because she's on welfare, she can't, one, have a man in the house, and two, she can't receive gifts like a television. And there's this one epic scene in the movie where the caseworker from welfare comes down to the house, and the kids have to go through the apartment hiding all of the things that James Earl Jones has given them. It is such, it's a dance. The choreography in that scene is beautiful. Just show old movies will always be the best in my view. That's just the way filmmaking was done. It was just, today you got to do it with CGI, but this was just choreography unlike any other. And for what would be considered a blaxploitation film by any other standards, it was just beautiful. But it talked about the system, if you will, in welfare, and the way it was captured as James Earl Jones is trying. All he wants to do is to provide for this woman and to be a good woman to her. In order for her to keep her benefits, how he has to be out of the house. And at that final scene at the end, just go see it. I'm not gonna give it away, but you got to go see it because it's such a great movie. And you fall in love with James Earl Jones all over again. Just go, him, Sidney Poitier, another favorite of mine growing up. Lou Gossett Jr. We lost him recently too. Another movie you should watch with Lou Gossett Jr. if you haven't seen it, please go watch The Principal. Please go watch The Principal with him and James Belushi, or Jim Belushi. Him and Jim Belushi. Please go watch that. Claudine and The Principal. Both of those movies are great. And a good friend of mine is in The Principal, by the way. He's the bad guy. Good friend of mine is in that movie. So please, that's your homework. If I'm giving you any, I want you to go home and watch those movies and come back and tell me all about them. All right. Don't forget, we've got the debate. We'll give you analysis about the debate tomorrow. And of course, we have to mention that debate is also going to be simulcast here live on WTIC. So you can download the Odyssey app or listen live if you're driving home and you can't get home. Just come to WTIC so you can listen for yourself. We got a whole bunch of other stuff coming tomorrow. And don't forget to go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com for the stupidest thing I've read today. And we have another story waiting for you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern for you as well. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. You have a good night, pleasant tomorrow. He is Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Good night, Mark. See you tomorrow.
Hey, Reese, thank you. Have a great night. And if you are heading into
All right, sir.
Thank you so much, man.
Not a problem, buddy.
All right, man. Oh, and you were saying, so you had to put the Todd Feinberg thing in the beginning, you said?
Yes.
Oh, because somebody called and said, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, even like today, there was a few calls during the show.
Oh, yeah, I know. But
I'm like, I know nothing new,
it's
buddy.
like, we can't help you. Man. I feel bad, but I can't help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, what are you going to do? But yeah, that's pretty much it. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate you this past week, man. You've been absolutely, you've actually, you keep this thing fun. So I just want to thank you so much for playing shotgun, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, man. Bye.
WTIC Talk 1080.
It takes a special kind of person to fix a sewer or storm drain, like Joe the plumber. We're sewer and storm drain excavation
All right, everybody. Thank you so much, Michael A. And I'm sorry that you're upset at me about Islands in the Stream, Laurie. I still love that song. Piazza, James Earl Jones was also in the movie Sandlot. Yes, we did mention that. If I didn't mention it on air, I apologize. Yeah, you guys, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that's right. Cry the Beloved Country. That's my homework. Okay, no doubt. Hey, come on, Johnny. I know the Jets suck. But they got to be on, what are they? In 3 hours? No, 2 hours. 2 hours. We'll find out how much they suck. You guys be good. All right, I will see you mañana.